God. What's going on nowadays? How dare you say late to me? I'm trying to feed families out here and you say late. Like, it's really despicable. Despicable of you to do that to a liberal. I should put something on the screen in the back. What should I put on the screen? A picture of Jeffrey Epstein. Big Balls was an inside job. Thank you for 9 months of membership, Sprig. It's crazy it's been 9 months. So that was right after the election, huh? My computer needs an update? Hopefully that doesn't go bad. Hi, everyone. Teresa, Kel, Kyle, Van. How's woke working out? How is woke working out, bro?
Hi. So what made you decide to not defund the police? What made you...
Bro, imagine being such a brain-dead, dumbass, pathetic moron. You say some dumb shit like that, bro.
Okay.
Why are the progressives... Why do they have security, bro? Maybe because they never meant we should have zero police. They never meant we should have zero police. The people that said defund the police, which were 1% of the party, there's more neo-Nazis in the Republican side than there are defund the police people on the left, by the way. But we don't got to talk about that.
Our very own Nicole Parker caught up with New York City's radical mayoral candidate Marxist Mamdani outside of a campaign event. Got 3 questions in and got an answer. Mamdani did eventually answer several of the questions, which is kind of good news. After getting heckled by locals, we're going to bring you the full exchange. That's straight ahead, that exclusive tape. Plus, like a clown in a circus, Beto Bozo O'Rourke is desperate for attention yet again. Take a look.
We are in a basketball game right now, if you'll excuse the metaphor, where the refs have left the arena. And the other side is just clobbering out of us, just punching us in the face, kicking us in the nuts, and we're kind of throwing our hands up.
True.
Meanwhile, fellow failed politician.
And also, I had a good analogy for the Trump admin with Russia, too. They act to Russia as if they are an NBA player. Like Trump and the admin. They act like an NBA player who is betting on their own games. And they need to perform enough during the game to seem like a reasonable player. But they can't do bad enough, so it's really clear they're playing for to win their bet, to win the parlay they set. You know? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a couple names like Jonte Porter in the NBA, Malik Beasley, if you watch basketball, where they bet on themselves for games and they purposely do bad to win the bet, essentially. But you need to make sure you're convincing enough that you're not intentionally selling, so you can still get away with it without getting in trouble. And that's what Trump and everyone's doing right now in the Trump administration.
And Stacey Abrams, she has a big new gig at Harvard. The university is calling the 2-time loser a political mastermind. If she was such a mastermind, why didn't she win? Anyway, as you can tell, the Democratic Party not in great shape. It's run by radicals. But Illinois power-hungry Governor J.B. Pritzker is struggling to come to grips with reality. Take a look at this.
Yes, winning elections is partly about messaging and strategy, but it's mostly about values and delivering on them. And our values are exactly where they ought to be. So it's time to stop apologizing when we're not wrong.
Don't change it all. Listen to the governor of Illinois. Those values are right where they need to be to lose every election. Government funded, taxpayer funded, transgender surgery, gender affirming care for kids, higher taxes, open borders.
Yes, the main policy platforms are trans surgeries. Yes.
Get out of jail free cards for violent felons, repeat.
You mean the January 6th people that beat up cops and tased them and, stomped on them, gave them permanent brain damage, multiple cops died. You don't care about that at all. Any Republican who does not care about January 6th as a big issue is a pathetic piece of garbage, by the way. And keep bringing it up. Keep bringing it up, all right? We got to talk about January 6th, and I'm going to say this over and over and over again. We need to talk about it. I know the American people, the Americans have moved past January 6th. But just because they have lost all values and principles, dick and balls, does not mean we need to, okay?
Offenders, defund, dismantle, no bail laws. How's it all working out? How's woke working out? And anyway, the most liberal city in America, our nation's capital, we know that's a dumpster fire. It's one of the most violent places on the planet. You look at the entire planet Earth.
There's red states like Aurora, Colorado, a Republican mayor. There's red states in America as well. The blue states have a lower crime rate than red states. But by the way, the blue states do better than red states.
And the #1 capital with the highest homicide rate is Washington, D.C., higher than other major capitals around the world. But many on the left.
You know what? Okay. I might have to employ some small town racism here and xenophobia, but like, do you really believe that DC is less safe than Uruguay, Baghdad, Iraq, Lagos, Nigeria, Panama City, Panama, Brazil? Do you really think DC is more dangerous than these areas? Do you think we can trust the crime reporting out of Iraq, for example? Why would you ever make that comparison? Anyone who's been to DC knows these numbers are
They're now pretending
wacky.
that it's perfectly safe. It's not. And they are content to sacrifice lives, prolong suffering, ignore the glaring problems in America's capital city, because for them, nothing is more important than hating Donald Trump every second, minute, hour of every day. At this point, the left has become so deranged that even members of the legacy media mob that are usually, running point for them, they're desperately trying to steer them back on track with just a gentle dose of reality. Take a look.
I live in Washington. This is personal for me. Many people are frustrated with crime that we see, particularly committed by juveniles in the city of Washington. People are frustrated, Willie, that when they go to CVS to buy deodorant, that they have to get it from behind locked.
Yeah, that's annoying. But none of that is solved by sending in the military or the FBI or having authoritarian control from the federal government. That's solved by providing a higher fund for community safety, policing, education, all those different things. And Trump is cutting funding from those programs, destroying DC's ability to actually govern itself. And DC has a 30-year low crime rate. The 30-year low crime rate. And by the way, on left media channels, they hold people accountable on the left. MSNBC, CNN's down the middle, but Republicans think they're biased just like they are. But Fox News, they cannot admit that tariffs are paid by the American consumer, because they think their viewers are so dumb, they won't even say, oh, tariffs are paid by the American consumer. They refuse to say a simple truth like that. But then you'll go on CNN, MSNBC, there is actual pushback and discussion when you're not in a cult.
Plexiglass.
Now, you have people on both fake news, CNN, MSDNC. They are now openly worried. The Democrats, blinded by never-ending anti-Trump rage, have once again picked the wrong side of an important issue. They seem to do that daily. Take a look.
I can't tell you how profoundly stupid it is for Democrats to get up with their facts and their figures and their charts and their graphs and say, look, you're safe. Can't you read this chart, idiots? Why are you complaining? I'm showing you right here how safe you are, so shut up and move along.
I agree with this, but also when people have a mass psychosis and they are suffering from permanent internet brain damage and they believe that riding a subway is more dangerous than anything else in life, when it's the safest way to travel, if they believe things about the world that are not true, we need to bring facts to the table. We cannot fully abandon that. I agree we need to make people feel safe and have a better way to communicate. We can't just say, hey bro, look at the graph, you should feel safe now, look at the graph, look at the graph, look at the graph. We should do other methods for, it sounds like a gun, look at the graph, they might think it's a gun if they hear me saying that, because they're so scared, they're scared so easily walking through freaking cities. But yeah, subways have by far the lowest chance of dying when you travel on them. Car crashes in America are a top cause of death, higher than most developed countries in America are our traffic fatalities. But yeah, if the American people are afraid of dumb shit and they want an authoritarian dictatorship, we need to move them away from that. If they say we should bring the military in and the FBI in to solve problems that should be done by local law enforcement, that's an issue. If the federal government can take over any city they want, if the federal government can take over any state they want, that can lead to authoritarianism and dictatorship. And if Americans want that, we need to still give the facts. We cannot fully abandon the facts because Americans emotionally are having emotional issues. So now it's feelings. Now it's all feelings over fact. Conservatives said forever. Conservatives love to say facts over feelings, but now they're saying, oh, we need feelings, guys. It's all about vibes, all about feelings. No facts allowed anywhere because I feel scared around black people, is what they're saying.
I don't have to tell you how profoundly stupid that is because voters told you how profoundly stupid that was in 2024.
You can't keep saying violent crime is down.
Voters thought, he's still alive? Voters thought Trump was better on Social Security than Kamala Harris. Trump tried privatizing it and cutting it his first term. They're trying to do that right now. They thought he was going to expand Medicare. He's trying to cut Medicare. He did cut Medicare a little bit, and he definitely cut Medicaid. Voters believed things that are fake about the 2020 election, 2024 election, every election. That's not a good indicator.
But the murder rate's up. To the average person, the murder rate's about life and death. You don't brag about a rising murder rate. And the Democrats are, I agree with you, Mika, they're falling into the trap of defending what's indefensible.
It's a trap.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Those are like two Republicans talking to each other on MSNBC. Imagine if there was a Democratic show on Fox News, bro. They would all have full panic attacks, start jumping around all crazy like they dip their balls in icy hot. It'd be crazy. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. You're gonna hear me say the icy hot thing a lot. I like that phrase. You're talking like you dipped your balls in icy hot. I just like the phrase. It's not deep. It doesn't mean much, but I do like the phrase. What is this? Okay, I got a viewer caller. I got a voicemail from a viewer.
I think your podcast is full of crap. Trump is not a dictator.
All right, well, stop smoking. You're coughing a little too much. It might be from TDS. You're Trump D-sucking. So slow down. You don't got to cough.
Podcast is full of crap. Trump is not a dictator. He's not trying to be a dictator. And I think you're taking it to a different level because blacks are just as welcome.
Blacks? Blacks? What about blacks?
Taking it to a different level because blacks are just as welcome in this country as anyone else. So why?
Blacks are just as welcome in this country as anyone else? Wait. Why are you talking about black people being just as welcome? Why do you even need to preface your statement by saying that shit? What are you projecting on us? What are you projecting right now? What are your insecurities right now?
Get off your high horse and go back to wherever you want to go.
No, it's not. Go back to where I want to go. Bro, I'm from Appalachia. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to my home. All right, I don't want to go back. All respect to Appalachia. I don't want to go back.
Bye.
Bye. So sassy. I'm sorry you have a bad experience watching my show. I will say that when Trump goes to the Smithsonian and he tries to force them to delete history, to censor history, to take his name off a list of presidents who've been impeached, to censor history about racism in the African American History Museum. Like when he does this, when he goes to censor history, when he fires people for reporting job numbers because he doesn't like the numbers. These are things authoritarians do. These are things rising dictatorships do. Okay, they censor information, censor history. They do things like pardon January 6th violent offenders. If you support those things, you are just an authoritarian, and that's fine. You could be a fully authoritarian guy as well. It's just how it is. And it's how you are. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Oh, God. Who's calling? Pick up the phone. 25 likes. 25 likes. We need more likes. All hail Trump. What's wrong with you? Do you think Trump is your God? He's not God. How's woke wording out? Democrats, deliberate edits. Where's this interview from? Charlie Kirk sounding the alarm. Trump shows major victory with Mexico. Schiff is going to be resigning immediately.
All right, did you hear about this? A Democrat.
No. Adam Smith is done, guys.
All right, did you hear about this?
Wait, not Smith. Wait. Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is done, guys.
A whistleblower has told the FBI that then Congressman Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information in order to discredit President Trump and the White House.
Wait, which classified information was leaked? Mr. Whistleblower?
Is giving its first reaction.
The president has already said he wants to see Adam Schiff held accountable for the countless lies he told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I have a quote from the FBI director. For years...
You mean the lies that Trump himself reinforced when he was president the first time, and so did Republicans like Marco Rubio, and it was a bipartisan consensus on all the Russia stuff? You mean those lies that apparently Trump said himself about Russia impacting our elections?
He told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I have a quote from the FBI director. For years, certain officials used their positions to selectively leak classified information to shape political narratives. It was all done with one purpose, to weaponize intelligence
which information
and law
was classified?
For political gain. Those abuses eroded public trust in our institutions. The FBI will now lead the charge with our partners at DOJ and Congress.
Iowa Congresswoman Marionette Miller-Meeks joins me now to react. Congresswoman, good morning to you.
I hate these people, bro. The way they'll go on here and lie. They are demons. They are literal just like scum.
True. How serious of an offense is this, and what can be done?
Well, it certainly is very serious, and Shifty Adam Schiff is
Oh, bro, do you hear these dumbasses, bro? Do you hear these brain dead morons talking, bro? Like, the way they talk about things is literally idiocracy 101, bro. The Shifty Adam Schiff is really serious, bro. The whistleblower, that's probably a complete bullshit story. The Republicans had a whistleblower on the Hunter Biden stuff, right? And that same whistleblower came out and said he lied, and he got indicted federally with federal charges for lying about it. And Republicans had nothing to stand on at all with Hunter Biden and all the crazy conspiracy shit. But yeah, let's listen to this one.
Justifying his name that he was given, leaking classified information, as you know, is a serious offense, and it will be up to the Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee, in order to handle.
You know what? That is a good point. How about we have some actual investigations? Because whenever there's investigations or a courtroom, MAGA runs away. Republicans cannot do shit in a courtroom. They got to run away. They got to frolic away like Sonic the Hedgehog on Percocet, bro. Like, they got to run away as quick as possible. It's crazy.
But this is a very serious allegation. I've asked for Senator Schiff to resign.
Wait, it's Adderall, not Percocet. I'm sorry, but they are too slow. They are slow as they go fast. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Resign immediately.
Well, a Democrat staffer is the whistleblower. He was a Democrat staffer on the House Intel Committee for 12 years. And on top of claiming that Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information, this person also said Ranking Member Schiff was particularly upset as he had believed he would have been appointed as the director of the CIA had candidate Hillary Clinton won the election. What do you make of those details?
Wait, excuse me? Oh, yeah. People in chat saying that Trump won in the courtroom. In 2020, nothing was proved
New
or
donation
verified
from Dav.
because you're cringe and stupid.
$20
Thank you so much
W.
for $20 for W. Thank you so much. Thank you. By the way, 5-hour stream sponsored by our... Thank
New
you.
donation from Big Balls was an inside job.
Big Balls.
$10 Mega
Did you plan
Logic.
this?
Day is
Thank you
racist,
for
but ICE
$10.
detaining and arresting legal American-born citizens just because they look like immigrants is not. Make it make sense.
True. Did you see the story? Thank you so much for the donations. Really appreciate it. And by the way, 5-hour stream tomorrow sponsored by our mods who have been donating a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Devin, the other night for that big donation, the $69 donation, the meme. 5-hour stream tomorrow, officially. Thank you so much. And yeah, did you see the story? I have to find it really quick. It was about like a 6-year-old kid or a 6-month-year-old kid with his mother who lived in D.C. or not D.C. Sorry, Washington State. Who had a visa to be here legally. They detained where is it? They detained her randomly. I can't find the story. I'll look for it. 1 second.
Upset as he had believed he would have been appointed as the director of the CIA had candidate Hillary Clinton won the election. What do you make of those details?
Well, remember that we were upset with Adam Schiff being put on Intel and kept on Intel. We thought he should have left Intel, been off of Intel when...
There's a 6-year-old with cancer who was detained for over a month. And yeah, this story was someone who had a visa to be here legally. They were crossing from Canada to America again, Washington State. And them and their 6-month-old child was detained by ICE for a few months, I think. It's crazy, insane shit.
This was suspected earlier before, when also suspected that he was lying about classified information. So this is a serious charge. He needs to...
Oh, thank you for the link. Yeah, so New Zealand woman and 6-year-old. Sorry, I said 6 months. I'm a liar. New Zealand woman and 6-year-old son detained for 3 weeks by ICE and in the U.S. and enduring terrifying ordeal. So when you talk about like Alligator Alcatraz, right? People celebrate that. Alligator Alcatraz is not some high security prison for violent offenders. I know like Ghislaine Maxwell is in a very low security prison doing pottery right now because Trump had to give her a special deal because she's his buddy. But yeah, these are like detainment facilities where you can take any immigrant. So imagine like when you cheer on the idea of like an alligator eating all these immigrants or whatever. This is one of the families you are cheering on being abused. Because ICE gives no shits at all about any rights in America for non-citizens or citizens. And they'll just detain someone to make money in their dumbass private prisons for Stephen Miller, Tom Homan, and a bunch of other assholes that invest in private prisons. You are part of the problem, assholes.
To be held accountable, but people need to call for his resignation, and I think members of Congress, at least on the Republican side, are asking for him to step down.
How will the investigation into this play out?
It won't. It won't play out. They never play out. But the audience, their fan base is too stupid to pay attention that long, so it's okay.
I think what you'll see is even though we are on our August work period in our districts, you'll start to see that Judiciary and the Oversight Committee will start making, proposals that he be
Bro, she's making shit up on the spot right now, bro. Proposals
brought in to
that should be brought in.
give testimony in front of the House.
Give testimony in front of the House. Okay, cool.
They'll start investigations.
The witnesses.
And they may issue
Let's wait for these
subpoenas.
investigations.
They may wait
They say
until
this
we're
every
back
day,
in,
by
but
the
those
way.
plans are ongoing now.
All
okay,
the
well, a
subpoenas.
spokesperson for Adam Schiff responded to Fox News Digital saying Kash Patel's latest smear against Senator Schiff is absolutely and categorically false and is just the latest in a series of defamatory attacks from the president and his allies meant to distract from their plummeting poll numbers and the Epstein file scandal. These baseless smears are...
Oh, yeah, Republicans shut down Congress. Remember that? They shut down Congress to avoid voting on the Epstein file so Trump can cover them up more and redact his name more. It's really cool.
Based on allegations that were found to be not reliable, not credible, and unsubstantiated.
Oh, yeah, and they left. They went on recess early in July. Their August recess, they took it in July to visit Israel for like 2 weeks. Republicans did that. Awesome. America
From a
first.
disgruntled former staffer who was fired by the House Intelligence Committee for cause in early 2017. Your reaction to that statement from the Schiff camp?
Again, he's living up to his name. He's trying to deflect blame and attention from him and from his actions. This was already, people already suspected him of both lying about classified information and leaking classified information. You now have a whistleblower. We didn't have to change the whistleblower law like they did with President.
LOL. LOL. By the way, I don't even like Adam Schiff. I think he's terrible. I think he's really bad. But also, I care about facts in this system of governance that we have. And Trump supporters do not give one singular shit about facts at all, about anything. Call into my show. Prove me wrong. All right? 717-693-7128. All right, guys? Trump is number one. You should really be cringe somewhere else, you dumbass. A 1929 style result. I bet that'll happen. I love it. Who has content that's good to watch? Trump and Putin. Trump floats new punishment for Putin. What is it? He's gonna do a hand job instead this time. Is that the punishment for Putin that Trump's gonna do? Oh my god. ICE is going after the worst of the worst. We know that's a complete lie. But they don't care. We know that. Kevin O'Leary, fake businessman, very nice. So Adam Schiff is on Fox News like multiple times a day. And he's someone that no one else ever thinks about. But he'll be on Fox News non-freaking stop, bro. Top down whistleblower, illegal plan.
This capital belongs to all Americans, and starting now, this capital belongs to all Americans, and starting now, we're taking it back. And that's the angle. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth was given the tall order of handling this, and he's here with me exclusively, Mr. Secretary.
Imagine if a Democratic politician said that like a federal landmark in a red state was for all Americans, and we're going to send the National Guard in to take it back to force abortions on you and to force everyone to be gay. Imagine if a Democrat did that. Or did anything at all, even somewhat similar to this, just not giving a shit whatsoever about any rights for local jurisdictions, for state jurisdiction, for anything at all, for state rights, whatever it might be. And by the way, DC is a different case because they have the home rule thing, and the president has some weird abilities there. But what they want to do in places like Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland, Boston. Boston has a very, very, very low crime rate, by the way. It's a very well-managed city. It's a really great example of what progressive governance can do for your city. But they want to use these authoritarian national emergency powers to militarize American streets and blue areas. Maybe we'll live to see the day that a blue Democrat does that.
Jerry, thank you for joining us tonight. So the president called this a public safety emergency, and you said we're going to start seeing the National Guard this week. Tell us more.
By the way, a person shot up the CDC building with like 200 rounds, killed a security guard, a police officer, whatever. Was it a security guard? So that's a right-wing terrorist attack. We had the FSU shooter, right-wing terrorist. We had the assassination of the Democrats in Minnesota. That was right-wing terrorism. We had so much right-wing terrorism the past few months and weeks, and no one is talking about it whatsoever. No one's talking about it at all. A guy just shot up another place, like on a military base a couple days ago. Also, someone shot up another shooting yesterday with a guy claiming he's Jesus Christ, that he is Jesus himself. But again, no one's talking about the right-wing terrorism. But when the Tesla dealerships got blown up or whatever, set on fire by like one person, that was an example of the entire left being pro-terrorist, by the way. But January 6th offenders being let off on pardons by Trump and actually put into his administration is not any confirmation that Republicans are pro-crime. I got it. Makes a lot of sense if you're really stupid, if you're really dumb and brain dead and pathetic and a pushover, and you have no values at all, and no dick and no balls.
This week and in coming weeks, and we're going to work right alongside our law enforcement partners as force multipliers. This is what the American people voted for, Laura.
I know this guy. I know this dude. Look at his dumbass face, bro. He definitely likes force multipliers, bro. He crams them all in the closet with him.
But the common sense, clarity, strength. I hadn't heard that story from President Trump before. The story he told about his father, that he told him, "Hey, son, if you look at the front door of a restaurant and it's dirty, then I bet the kitchen, you can count on the fact that the kitchen is too." And I sat there thinking, that's exactly right. If our capital city is a mess, if we can't control our capital city, then what does the rest of the country look like? And what signals does the rest of the country take from that? So just like we did in Los Angeles, alongside our federal law, we took a lot of criticism for 4,000.
They did nothing in Los Angeles. The National Guard there had nothing to do. They sat around for weeks and weeks and weeks, okay? They had nothing to do in Los Angeles. That was all a complete lie. Nothing was done there. Again, if you want to fund the local police, you can do that. But sending in the military is never the response to actually decrease crime. It probably increases crime, to be honest. You should talk about local law enforcement, talk about local social work, talk about education, talk about resources for the community, mental health services, all that kind of shit. Like, that's how you actually decrease crime. But the MAGA movement does not care about crime. They care about authoritarian control.
Troops, 700 Marines. You know what we didn't get? There was no summer of love in 2020. There was, in 2025, there was a summer of law enforcement, and we quelled the protests of the attacks
Everything
on
needs
ICE
to be a nice
officers.
tagline.
We're going to help get D.C. under control by working with local officials who have been federalized, with federal officials who are coming in. The D.C. Guard's proud to be a part of it. Other states will contribute this week, going into the weeks to come. And whatever's needed, the DOD will provide to make sure this is a safe city for those who live here, for those that work here, and the Americans who want to come visit here and love our capital city.
I've been to D.C. many times. It's a completely fine place, by the way. I don't give a shit about these dumbasses walking around. This is a really... By the way, these people, these FBI agents, FBI should not be doing random roaming patrols, okay? And this is a rich part of D.C. with no crime, bro. A rich part of D.C. with no crime. Why the hell are they walking here? You think this is about crime? If they have roving patrol of FBI here, of all places? Like, this area here, what is it called again? I don't know how to say that, but Georgetown. Like, I've been here. If you live in an area like this, it's... I'm pretty sure I went to Shake Shack down the street here, bro. I was at Shake Shack. I walked there at like 1 a.m. Like, it's so damn cringe. But all the white conservatives watching this are like, "Oh, it's so scary in the city. I saw someone doing a wheelie. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Thank God we have the goon squad out. Someone's speeding. All right, guys. Start shooting. Oh, wow. Look at that fancy-ass bar, bro. They are protecting us and serving. And by serving, I mean they are closeted. Look at that guy. He's like, "Bro, I'm a hipster. Why are you here watching me, bro? I'm so white and rich right now. Like, I am at a bar at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday, bro. Do you think I got shit to do? You think I'm going to do crime? Like, what the hell's going on here? I'm a gentrifier. I'm not doing crime."
Where did they...
Oh, yeah. Good thing they have their masks on to protect themselves. You know, they need protection. Look at this. Look at these people doing this, dude. Look at this. It's such a nice area. It's such a nice area of D.C. Like, what's happening? Oh, yeah. Nothing can stop us except the crosswalk. She's in danger. They were both in danger. Without them there, bro, they would have been killed by now, bro. They would have been called dirty crackers and killed by angry leftists who are anti-white because of anti-white racism. Do you think those people felt safer? I literally was here! Wait, where's the Shake Shack? It's not... Wait, I forgot what block this is. Bro, do you think those people felt safer having these fully, face covered federal agents walking down the street in a random patrol unit? Like, do you think they felt safer as a result? This is so stupid, bro. Like, please, bro. Like, what's going on?
First one I saw. So my thought is, there's not much going on here, so maybe they're practicing. Come on.
If you don't think it's a bad thing that the president wants to randomly patrol FBI and National Guards at will because he claims everything's a national emergency in only states he politically disagrees with, if you don't see why that leads to authoritarianism, you are so brain dead, bro. You are so brain dead. You got your entire skull in a blender. You blend your skull every single night and dip your balls in icy hot, and you enjoy it because you're so stupid and numbnut that you can't even feel the sensation. Like, it's actually crazy how stupid you are, bro. You're too dumb to feel pain, bro. Like, it's actually crazy as shit if you think this is a good thing. Oh wow, FBI without their faces covered. If that was ICE, by the way, he'd have his entire face covered because he needs protection if he's ICE. Take your mask off, DEA. Like, bruh. They were in danger. Is that the Shake Shack? They're like, what the hell is going on here? Yes, we need the military to step in, guys. Send in the damn military. They're having mocha lattes at 1 a.m. The hipsters. The hipsters are out. How much money do you think we spent on this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, let's say there's a dozen people. We've probably spent, what, like $20,000 on this one night. In every street corner. With their dozens of random patrol units. Like, it's so cringe and stupid and dumb, bro.
The question of martial law keeps getting raised by the left, that Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, they want to impose martial law as authoritarians would. Mm-hmm. To that you say? To that I say, look at Los Angeles. They said...
Yeah, by the way, when they say look at Los Angeles, it was in like a square city block, a very small area, and there was like one person in that city block doing something bad. The rest was peaceful. The entire city was nothing. Like what I just showed you, that video I just showed you, is the reality in these cities that you hear about. You're all afraid of these cities. The areas that have high crime are going to be majority black, majority poor areas. It's not going to be the super rich white areas when they move in and take all the resources away from the black areas. By the way, it's going to be the, it's just so stupid. And even in those areas, you won't get killed walking down the damn street. It's so stupid, bro. Like, they want to bulldoze black areas of town, and that's what Benny Johnson, Charlie Kirk, that's what they've all said so far. There's certain areas of town they want to bulldoze. They want to bulldoze areas of town that are, not in line with Western civilization, and you know what that means to them.
The exact same thing. Oh look, 4,000 troops, California National Guard. Oh look, the Marines. You can't put in the Marines. What? They were the troops available to ensure that we de-escalated the situation and didn't allow other lawbreakers to say, look, it's wide open. We can do whatever we want in these.
By the way, LAPD had the situation de-escalated. They put out a statement saying thank you to the protesters for being peaceful. It did not become it did not stop being peaceful at all in any regard, even one person, before these big announcements came in with Trump sending in the National Guard and military.
Sanctuary cities. I was told, oh, you're going to lock up political opponents. You're going to go after Democrats. Yada, yada. It's the same stuff.
I mean, not yet. Not yet. It's never yet.
Stuff every time, mischaracterizing our intentions.
They call every day to lock up political opponents. Literally every single day they want to lock up political opponents. Trump ran on locking up Hillary freaking Clinton the first time around. Like, right now they're talking about locking up Barack Obama, Hunter Biden, and Adam Schiff in the same cell for all bullshit charges, okay? Like, that's all they talk about is locking up political opponents. Just because they can't do their final solution yet does not mean they're not on the way there. When people say that Trump is not a dictator yet, why are you talking about Trump as a dictator? It's because he's censoring information at the Smithsonian. He's censoring art at the Kennedy Center. Like, he is censoring his own name in historical documents. His White House, the Constitution on our government website, they took out the part about habeas corpus rights, on purpose. It's never going to happen right away. It's a slow boil into the authoritarian regime. The moment you realize it, it's too damn late. And everyone says you're overreacting on the way there. But yeah, Trump's entire political model is going after political opponents.
The intentions of this president is to establish law and order using legal and lawful and constitutional means, which he completely...
Bro, this guy's on so many drugs, bro. I hope he's on so many drugs. If he's not on drugs, he needs to be.
He has, and you know what? You know why they don't like him? He's got the guts to do it.
Yeah, because he has the guts. He has the guts.
Got the guts to say, I'm going to federalize the police that don't work. I'm going to bring in the National Guard. I'm going to bring in federal marshals. I'm going to bring in the park police.
How long will
we're going to control the...
How
who
long
knows? How long? What is the...
Well, it costs money, right?
It
costs money.
We'll bring any soldier from any place for as long as it takes until all the crime's gone. Do you know what kind of leaders promise all crime to be gone, guys? What kind of leader? What kind of government do you think what kind of government do you think you get if you say, we need 100% of crime to be gone? What kind of authoritarian regime, surveillance state do you think we need to eliminate all crime? Do you think at that point the overwhelming government authoritarian power is going to result in less crime overall? Maybe according to the standards of crime being unlawful, because it will be lawful crime done by the government. But all the people who complain about federal agents and COVID-19 being tyranny, and if you think that was tyranny and this is not, you're a piece of garbage.
And the question is, are you there for a year? Are you there for 6 months? And when the troops pull out, what happens?
I would call this conditions-based. I would say it's a situation where we're here to support law enforcement. And the more we can free them up to do their job, the more effective they can be, the more we can work. I mean, this isn't my realm, but the justice system to make sure people who are arrested are actually locked up. That's why the president's talking about cashless bail in sanctuary cities. If you're illegal here in D.C., that's going to be a problem.
All cashless bail does, it does not release someone who should not be, like, if you're a public safety threat, you're not going to be let out on bail anyway, okay? Cashless bail just means if you're a rich person, you can't be arrested without any consequence. So if you're rich and you can afford bail, you're not going to just get out all willy-nilly, and some poor guy is not going to be let out. So everyone, if you don't have a crime that's going to be a severe public safety threat, you have cashless bail. All right, you still have the same standards of getting out, you have a court date, all that kind of stuff, but you're not going to be barred from having bail just because you're poor. So it's actually a good thing to have that, in my opinion. It has no effect on crime. It probably makes the process a little bit easier for the community. It's just a very non-issue.
So all of these things that apply to law and order are front and center for us. And
like giving pardons to January 6 criminals who beat cops with their own freaking riot shields and American flags and tased them in the neck and gouged their eyes out or tried to. So pardoning them is okay. Making them part of the DOJ, giving them spots in the administration. It's okay to pardon those people who then, some of those people went on to be pedophiles and assault children. Like, is it okay to do that shit? Is that law and order? And then you brag about it? Is that law and order? Oh, but Nancy Pelosi didn't send the Capitol Police. Imagine being so freaking dumb.
I don't know, weeks, months, what will it take? That's the president's call, but we're going to be there for him to execute as swiftly as possible.
Will the National Guard be detaining Americans on American soil?
Under Title 32, which is the authorization they'll be using, they have broad latitude, but they're not going to be involved in law enforcement functions. They will be standing right alongside our federal agents like they were in Los Angeles. They're going to be proactive. If you take an action or a shot at them, there will be a consequence. So,
if a crime is being committed, in other words, and a National Guardsman sees a crime being committed, then what?
They can come alongside and assist law enforcement.
What if law enforcement isn't on that corner?
Then they will.
There's nowhere in America, like, it's just so cringe, bro. It's so cringe. Our police departments and cities have multi-billion-dollar budgets for a reason. It's because they are not militaries. We don't want the military doing this in American streets. And the fact that they're normalizing military in American streets and Americans are okay with it is scary as shit. It's scary as shit. There is no government that allows that ends up being free. In, like, give it a few years, bro. It's just crazy. Like, Tiananmen Square type shit.
Will have their back to ensure they can take the necessary action to protect citizens of D.C. and to protect themselves. So there's no rogue law enforcement going on from the National Guard, but there's also the application of common sense. We're not going to have National Guards just sitting there like this, seeing a crime committed and not do something about it. You can help somebody.
I mean, they sit there and don't see crime like they did in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, they had no resources or orders or any actual clear guidance on what they were even doing other than being political pawns for the Trump administrations. Bullshit. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to call in, I'll take some calls right now. Thank you, Sri, for $5 on Venmo. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you want to donate, Joel Up Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Really appreciate all the support. I might need to get an Invisalign to fix my jaw issues. If you want to donate to my jaw issues, donate to Joel Up Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, or on Coffee in the description. Joel Up Politics, that's my channel name on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Really appreciate everyone watching. Please drop a like for more viewership. More calls. Appreciate it. Oh no, there's a guy spam calling. He's definitely cool.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, are you the guy that's streaming?
Yep, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, man? It's a pleasure to meet you and talk to you. I just wanted to hear like your just a little bit more on your take on like why you're against using military. That's all.
So like the military in America, there's a very high bar for using them. Like usually it's like a national emergency for a reason. So like if we have a world war, or if we're being literally invaded by an invading army, or if we have a civil war or something like that, then there's these huge, enormous powers the president can use to, you know, bring in National Guard to different things, maybe like the Civil Rights Movement, or like the huge like Rodney King riots. But even those were in collaboration with the local like state governments who approved National Guard to come and help with different situations. But like right now, there is nothing near any national emergency to justify the use of American troops in American cities. We should be doing that with law enforcement, members of our communities who are held accountable by our communities, who are specialized in engaging with community members, and helping, you know, maintain a low crime rate, and also to take care of any crimes that do happen. Whenever you have the military, which is controlled by the commander-in-chief, getting into law enforcement activities, it really threatens the difference between federal government and local governments, and it really creates a whole issue for freedom in general.
Well, if you know, like I get your point, but the point of the National Guard is that they are there to assist, right? And I agree that they are by any means they're not law enforcement. I know that they're not allowed to obviously go ahead and arrest people. Their job is just to help assist, try to get strength back in order.
What were they assisting, or what were they assisting in D.C. then that Trump called them in?
Their job is to assist. It's honestly, to be honest, like I'm former National Guard as well. And to be honest, though, this just what happens in general with the military. They are there just for the look. That's really what it is. They don't really even give them anything. I've been out where like I've gone out with, you know, my M4, and I'm like, where's the ammo? And they go, well, you're just there for the look. You really can't do anything. They really hold no presence. It's just more line of just to look the part. But the thing is just to scare some of the people. But the crime has gotten so bad that the police do need help. But if you look at it, they're not.
They need more officers. They don't need FBI.
Yeah,
they need more officers. And by the way, there were groups of a couple dozen FBI, DEA, and also National Guard walking through the rich parts of DC that have a near zero crime rate at all. And when Trump does this in Los Angeles, the same deal happened.
That is impossible. No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. That is impossible to get 100%, you know, crime-free. That is practically impossible. It's the stupidest thing. I agree with you on that.
No, but I'm saying that the areas they're patrolling all of DC. They're not even going after like high crime areas, which I don't want them to, because they'll make things even worse. But still, this is, if you want to say it's a scare tactic or a fear tactic, a U.S. president using National Guard in this way, when Trump did not use National Guard like he should have on January 6th, is extremely scary, since nothing's happening at all. Like there's nothing at all even being close to justifying the use of emergency powers. Like he's justifying it through emergency powers that have a very, very high bar to use. And the only consequence for him can be political. And if Americans normalize these activities, like that can be a threat for red states too, if a socialist wins the presidency someday. I think every American should be against this, no matter what side you're on.
Well, the thing about the January 6th, if you just don't mind me asking, right? Didn't he not tell Nancy Pelosi? Didn't he not do it? They kind of shot him down always. It was politically driven on both ends. Don't get me wrong, right?
Okay, I'm sorry, but you said you were National Guard.
Yes.
Is the Speaker of the House in the chain of command for National Guard or Capitol Police?
No, but what they do is they call your local congressman, and the local congressman can stand down. That's what they do. So it depends on who the person believes.
In D.C., the president and Secretary of Defense is in charge of the Capitol Police and National Guard in D.C., not Congress at all. There's nothing about Nancy Pelosi. They had to go through to actually do something.
But what I'm saying is Well, but what I'm saying is that she can request that they don't follow in line. Obviously, it's a request. It's not a demand. It's just a request.
There's no
It
evidence
has to
she did
fall in
not
line.
request National Guard or she was against it. Trump never sent a national
Her
request for National
But
Guard.
her daughter admitted that she recorded it. Her daughter did admit that, like, she did get the calls from Trump, and she said, not a chance. I'm not going to do anything for that guy or work with that guy by any means.
There's no evidence at all that Pelosi was, that Trump sent a request out for National Guard on that day, and Pelosi said no. There's no evidence of that at all. She was not involved in this decision whatsoever. Trump never sent out an official order or request for National Guard on that day. Like, there's no evidence of this at all.
There's a live recording with her daughter. Her daughter turned it in with the video about
There
that,
is no
saying that
evidence. There's no evidence that Trump sent out. No, Trump never sent out a request.
Okay, I got you, I
There's
got
no
you.
evidence of
I
that
thought- I
either.
thought-
And Trump said
my
that
bad.
Trump said he requested 10,000 troops or something, and Pelosi turned it down. But there's no evidence of this at all. I want actual evidence of this happening. Trump being president twice would have evidence if he said or did this. I would say a letter or writing or some testimony or something other than random footage of like Pelosi after January 6th or during.
New
it, you know?
donation from
I
Dear
just
Make
have
a
a higher
Hate
standard of
Watchers.
evidence.
$10 wake the EFF
No,
up.
honestly, everything's
The
gonna lie from all I
federalization of the
understand.
DC police
agree.
force
I
and the
agree with
National
you
Guard
on
being
evidence
deployed
in
has
every-
nothing to
in
do
every
about
corner.
crime.
But
It is just
honestly,
about
if-
Trump trying to
and
prove to
just from
everyone
what I
that he
believe,
doesn't have a
just my
teeny we
thing
need.
is
The
that
only
if
thing
brothers
this
can help
administration
police,
cares
which
about
they do
keeping
need
safe.
much more police. They do need, and that's just the the banning of police from earlier stuff in life. The whole BLM that would cause the.
By the
huge-
way,
No, I'm
Trump
saying
is
that's a-
cutting from the budget from DC. Like he cut like $1 billion from their budget that focuses on crime prevention and public safety. So like in the big beautiful bill, a part of it cut out like $1 billion from DC. So like if they cared about crime or helping officers in DC, they would probably help on that level or push for policy changes or ask Congress to pass a law in the budget, but they're doing the opposite thing. So why would they defund the police
so
there?
where did all the crime stem from? Was it when Trump was in play or right before or long before Trump? Because if you
I mean,
look at all
crime's
the
been going
crime
down consistently in DC for the past 30 years. It's at a 30-year low in crime.
It's at its all no, isn't that its all-time high?
No, it's at a 30-year low for DC. If you look up the crime data, I promise, it's DC's at a very low rate. Baltimore just declined like 25%. Like Baltimore, DC and Baltimore in particular have had really, really good years since COVID because there was a spike during COVID. But like if you look up Baltimore, they have a governor, Wes Moore, who's really good. And also their mayor is really good. Their crime rate went down a lot. Their homicide rate went down a lot in the past like 2 years. So like things are going pretty good in these cities. That's why I'm saying like when Trump does this and he says the crime rate's going up so much, Trump himself a few months ago bragged about the crime rate being low in DC and he gave himself credit. But now all of a sudden he's saying it's super high again, and it justifies sending in the military. So do you see on that point right there when Trump bragged about it, but now he needs to send in the damn military and FBI and DEA to patrol random parts of the city? Do you see why I would think that's weird?
Yeah. Well, can I ask you just a general question? As
Yeah, sure.
Do you think the reason the crime is happening is because they don't fear the police anymore? So, like I'm saying, and also just another thing is. The other part of the question, if you can, because you know more facts than me on this, but majority of the crime, what would you say the age comes from for majority of the crime? If there's a study on that, do you know by any chance? I'm just asking you.
So I have studied this pretty extensively. I don't have like a lot of particulars on my brain right now, but the main causes of crime are stresses. So whether it's economic conditions, social conditions, a lack of public resources, a lack of hope, opportunity, mental health issues, if there's a lot of community strain, so there's a distrust between law enforcement and the local community. So like let's say you fund police tons, but you don't fund education and opportunity, the crime rate's going to spike. You can overfund police and actually make the area worse because the conditions are going to be worse. More fathers out of the home, more parents in general being jailed, more kids being in and out of juvie and jail as they develop. The best way to reduce crime is actually to replace crime with opportunity. And it takes a long time. It takes a process. And you can still have like a strong law enforcement on the way there. But those are the main causes of crime. So like there's a good study by Susquehanna University that says the death penalty, for example, does nothing at all to deter crime. There's no evidence at all that the death penalty deters crime. There's actually evidence that it makes it higher because areas that focus on things like the death penalty, they don't focus on things like education and social services because they feel that like more police and more death and more violence is going to deter crime. But it usually makes it worse because we use resources for those things and we cut resources away from things that actually help communities prosper. I don't think it has to do with fear of law enforcement at all. If someone's doing a crazy crime, they don't give a shit at all about what happens after. They never think about, oh shit, I'm going to get arrested after this. It's always because they're in a terrible place mentally.
Okay, because well, no, it's just from like the past things I was watching, just on general news, right? Whenever you watch the crimes, it's a bunch of younger kids between the ages of 12 and 16, and they have no fear of the police because they'll just be released. That's why I was just asking you if it was more line general.
Well, they have no fear of anything at that point, and they
I was
have
gonna say,
broken homes, broken
general,
school systems. Like,
yeah. And then my next question is the majority of the crime areas, are they, and this is just me asking you, and I'm not trying to start an argument with you. I know you know your facts on a lot of things, but majority of the crime areas, aren't they all Democratic areas? Because all blue states? I'm
no,
just
like
asking you in that
Aurora,
general question.
Colorado is like a Republican. Well, if you look at crime rate between red and blue states, like Texas has a much higher homicide rate, I'm pretty sure, than blue states typically, or not even Texas, but red states in general. If you look at a rank of blue states versus red states on life expectancy, in blue states you live like 5 years longer. They have better social services, lower crime in general. Now, blue cities probably have a higher crime rate, but that's because of, honestly, a lot of issues with classism and racism, and that kind of comes together.
Okay.
Like, do you know what the do you know what like a ghetto is by like definition?
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
government forced like
yeah.
yeah, like the government forced people into ghettos, and like black people moved into cities, white people ran out of it, and then opportunities left, and then black people were in a very densely populated area that was really expensive to live in with no opportunity.
Yeah.
So a lot of those stressors, have a lot of conflict, and then things get worse, and then there's instead of adding opportunity, they add over policing, and these areas get more dangerous. But like that's one. There's a lot of theories on why that is that are really solid. But I would also refer people to poor communities in Alabama that are all white, for example, and rural have extremely high crime rates, but they might die more by overdose versus homicide. But it really depends on like where you are and what interactions you have, and how your interactions are with the systems around you. Because in those areas, the cost of living is going to be a lot lower, so there's different stresses, but there's still a correlation between a lack of resources, high crime, high death. If you give an area more resources, it might take a long time. It does take a long time to 5 or 10 years to really see a big shift. But yeah, those are the causes. And if you do too much over policing in the wrong way, it can make things worse.
Yeah, because then it actually starts becoming, what do you call it, position of power, or whatever you call it. Like when they say a kid's picked on in high school, and then they become a police officer, and then they're just this absolute piece of trash.
Yeah, and it's a vicious cycle too, right? So like if you, there's a lot of laws you can change to make it better. But like what Trump's doing in D.C. right now probably has a higher chance of making things worse. It grows distrust between government and the people. It'll probably increase crime, increase social deviance. There's no, like, if you look at like criminology, there's no theory I can really find. There's theories, but there's no data that suggests that more guns in the area create lower crime. Even in states like Alaska, where their big motto is like, it keeps everyone honest because everyone there has a gun, they have a higher homicide rate than most states, including blue areas. So like, that's not necessarily true. More guns usually means more gun deaths, and more poverty means more crime, and it all feeds into each other.
Well, I was going to say, but it just means the more guns to have the right to defend yourself, though. That's why I thought I'm pretty sure that the crime would be lower, because you're more likely to defend yourself opposed to waiting for somebody. The more areas where, go ahead,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, you're also more likely to shoot someone rather than have an argument. So like traffic disputes turn into shootouts, or like if you have a fight with your friend at a bar and you're drunk, there's a lot higher chance there's going to be an accidental shooting or a manslaughter or whatever it might be, a crime of passion, or instead of a fist fight, now you're shooting, right? There's a lot of different things that happen when you have guns around.
You're right, because when I used to live up north up in Massachusetts, right, it was the city was like a color. So red would mean you're almost guaranteed to not get your gun license unless you had a specific reason for like a job. Now you come to Florida, now you got to double check yourself because everyone can carry a gun. I get what you're saying on that part. Because I don't want to start with anyone out here because I don't know what anybody has.
Yeah, and it's really hard to balance it. It makes sense for people with their brains. For women, for example, a woman that's armed might be at a higher chance of being injured if they have a gun on them, because they'll get overpowered very easily.
Well, not only that, they don't have the mental capacity to automatically pull it out. It's always like, someone said you can pull out a gun, right? But do you know that you have a cock? Do you have it ready to go?
Yeah, and that's for anyone. That's
more
for anyone
hesitation.
Too.
Well, I was gonna say more hesitation, but
and there's the whole thing too, where it's like, let's say you have it's usually good to have a central point for security. So like, let's say you're at a grocery store and someone has a gun and they shoot someone, and now there's There's one bad guy with a gun, and there's 15 good guys with a gun. There's no central security. Now you have 15 good guys with guns in an area with a bunch of strangers, and you don't know who's the good guy with the gun. And that's just like a mental experiment to do, where it's like, okay, well, we know there's one person here that's doing something bad, but there's a bunch of untrained people here who have guns as well. How do I know if this random guy here is the shooter, or someone who's designated to be security, or someone who could be identified? So that's one reason, and that also falls in line with like ICE right now, where because ICE does not identify themselves nearly enough. A lot of women are being assaulted by men who pretend to be ICE agents. They just say they're ICE because they have no standard right now for ICE to identify themselves. And it's becoming a lot more common to do that. So it becomes it's good to have a central point of security, so you know who is the person in most scenarios doing that job. Then you have undercover officers. You have people who have a, like in Europe, in some countries, they have like a tier system where if you have more training, you could like concealed carry, or have more higher powered rifles if you have more training for it. So there's a bunch of ways to approach like gun safety that I think would not like infringe upon the Second Amendment. But there's a lot of things to consider.
All right. I was just say thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you calling me back, and it was a pleasure. Thank you for your side and your and everything else. And
yeah, I appreciate the good faith conversation, man. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night.
You too. Enjoy your night, sir.
All right, thank you. Don't you love good, wholesome conversations that are just good conversations against people who might disagree? Isn't that so nice? Thank you so much, Sprig, for another $10. I was laughing at your super chat. Thank you so much. I was laughing. Good timing. Thank you so much for the super chats. If you want to donate to the show, Joel Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. That's Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, Joel Politics. Or you can donate through Coffee, the Coffee link in my descriptions. Please join Discord if you have an ability to join Discord. As well, it's in my channel description and in my video descriptions and all that kind of stuff. Join my Discord. Follow my TikTok at Joel Politics. Follow my TikTok at Joel Politics. Really appreciate it. Here's another Discord link for anyone who wants it. Now you can bring up states like Vermont. There's some states that, well, let's say for example, there's a state that has a really low gun violence. Like people bring up Switzerland. They have a lot of guns but low violence. But also, it's a country of like only rich people, and they are all rich and they're all very trained. There, it's a part of the culture in a very keen way. So it's not really comparable to the wild, wild west of America. I don't know that much about gun policy, to be honest, but. What?
Hey, what's up? My name's Sky. I just saw your live stream and I wanted to call in. Personally, I agree with you that Trump is a dictator. However, I believe you are softballing your coverage and you're
Shut up.
endangering lives by doing so. If you want to give me a call back.
This guy says I'm endangering lives. What the hell, bro? Chill out. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Howdy. Okay.
Hello?
Hello, this is the YouTube calling back. Politics.
I'm sorry I didn't hear you. What's that?
Hello, this is the YouTube politics thing calling back.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just kind of calling at work. Just kind of lost connection sometimes.
You're good. What's up?
Oh, I just was kind of seeing the broadcast, seeing some of the debates on some of the gun laws and gun debates and with Trump. I can see some of where I can agree and a lot of it where I disagree.
Do you disagree that Trump's use of the National Guard and emergency powers is really overbearing and slightly authoritarian at the least?
Well, what's on your stance on the reason why he called upon them?
He wants to project strength. He wants to have a show of force in the street. That's why many countries who use military propaganda are typically authoritarian. They don't really care about like democratic values of democracy. So think like a Russia or a North Korea or China. They want to present as strong and powerful, even if they are not strong and powerful. So having military in the street, saying I'm the executive, I can nationalize or federalize the National Guard and FBI and local police and do whatever I want and crack down on these liberal cities, these Democrat cities. I think it's just an authoritarian show of power.
Okay. Well, wouldn't it be the case because a lot of the places had to defund the police and the police don't have the funding and the training to support the need for the call?
I would say that if you want to support funding for law enforcement, you could do that. And in DC in particular, they could pass laws in Congress to increase funding for law enforcement, but they're actually cutting it. And sending out random FBI agents to the street is not going to help at all with crime. And there is no issue that they're addressing at all. It's completely fabricated. Trump himself bragged about, like I mentioned earlier, he bragged about DC having a lower crime rate since he's been in office. But now it's super high because he wants to use it for political reasons.
Well, right. I see with the situation with, I could see with everything going on with the poverty level is like with the cost of living. Since we had Barack Obama and Biden, how everything has kind of gone up. And Trump is trying to...
Wait, what gone up? What has gone up?
Well, with the cost of living, everything has continuously has been going up. And even with Trump in office, it's still high.
It's going up even quicker now because of the tariffs, yeah. It's accelerating again.
Mm-hmm. So even though trying to clean something, it's going to get messier. Till it gets,
But like, do you think the tariffs are a good idea?
I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. We've been what did I say this? We've been taken advantage of for a few years because taxpayers have been paying for tariffs.
Now, are you familiar with who pays tariffs? Like, if Trump puts a 50% tariff on Canada, do you know that like Americans pay that and American businesses pay the import tax?
Okay.
So like if there's a tariff on American goods in like Australia, for example, then Australians pay that tariff. They pay the tax, not us. So like, let's say that Trump wanted to equalize what they do. Other countries had an average of like a 1% tariff on us or 2% tariff on us, but we're tariffing countries at 40 or 50%. So like, if they want to tariff their own people with import taxes, they can do that. But in America right now, we're charging Americans a tax. And we can go further down that if you want, but like we're paying a higher tax. If you see tariff revenues, that is American tax revenue. That is out of our pockets. So even if let's say you buy like a can of iced tea and it's made with aluminum. When Trump puts a 20% tariff on aluminum, you are paying that tax when you buy an iced tea that's a couple cents more. Now, you might not see that right away, but it's like a sales tax. It's at the point of purchase usually.
Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, you're still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of cut up there.
Okay.
You were saying tariff on aluminum.
Yeah. If Trump puts a tariff on, okay, coffee, for example, we cannot make coffee in America. We do not make coffee. We make a very small amount of coffee in America. The coffee we make in America can only supply like 0.001% of American coffee consumption. But we have a tariff on coffee globally. That tariff is a tax on Americans. Every time you drink coffee, that a couple cents of that is going to be increased in price to pay for Trump's tariffs. It's going to go to the American government. That's a tax increase for you.
Right.
So I'm against that. It's not good for America. It's pretty bad. It hurts our consumers. It taxes Americans more. You said costs went up for Americans. So Trump doing that by himself, increasing tariffs, is increasing American taxes. Therefore, it increases American costs.
I mean, to be honest, I voted for Trump, but I'm not always favor with the government. I do agree. I don't like a bigger government. I would like a smaller but stern government. I am for the American people. I would like to see where it's more stable living, where people are more comfortable. I don't like to see where you have two forms of income where it's still not enough to live. So you got family members, you got mom and dad are working 4 jobs instead of working 1 job each, and they're still barely
Yeah, but
by.
like Trump is cutting programs for families like that. Like the Medicaid cuts he's doing is actually going to hurt families like that, most likely. Like a lot of his tax bill actually makes taxes worse for those families. If you barely get by, his tax bill does not really benefit you. It actually makes it worse for you.
But we have had several people have been abused in the system by living off of the government.
It's a very small
by
percentage. The
Section 8.
cuts they made to Medicaid are way bigger than the people who would be abusing it. It's companies that abuse Medicaid, for example. Yeah, but if you have, let me see here. I really appreciate the call. I want you to call in again if you have like a, if you watch me more and you have a very direct criticism to make of me. I want you to call in again.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because I don't want to go on too long, just like kind of meandering and finding a point to talk about. So like, if you have any like strong disagreements, I really appreciate the call though.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. 9 minutes is enough to give. 9 minutes is enough to be nice. Why you got on that? Kick it.
Thank you for calling.
Whoa, calm down, buddy, old pal.
Thank you for.
Can you wait here? Let me. How is it going on? How is this happening to me? For real? Like, come on, bro. How's it going? Who's new here? Who's new here? 2 genders only. I'm gay. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, this is the Politics Show.
Oh, hey, you called back. How you doing? So
I'm
what are you
doing
talking
good.
about today?
You know what I'm talking about.
Looks like you're getting kind of a couple of lemmings and stuff like that, I think. People who are a little slow.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I'm just noticing that, yeah. You got a couple of real winners there, some people who won the lottery on the bright side, you know what I'm saying?
Who knows? I love all of God's people.
So, hey, are you when's the last time you talked about like mental illness or anything like that? Or had a debate about that? Do you have any opinions? I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to ask, right? Like, what's your opinion about mental illness, But I wonder if you ever thought about that because, people have been talking about that a lot lately, right? Oh, there's a lot of mental illness going on, stuff like that. Where do you think that comes from? Or do you ever talk about that kind of thing? It's a political thing too, right?
I mean, right now I talk about a cult mentality behind politicians and also social media figures with online parasocial relationships that could be really bad.
I mean, do you know there's studies out there that say that people who identify as liberal or progressive are more likely to also identify as having a mental illness or be prescribed antidepressants, things like that? Some people say that that's because their worldview is they're more aware. And so they're so enlightened that they're depressed about the world, and basically conservatives or Republicans are so ignorant of the world, they live in a blissful contentment.
No, it's more
sort of
so like liberals will go out and get treatment more often. Conservatives that I know, for example, don't go to the doctor for anything unless if they are dying, and they're definitely not going to go to therapy. They think that's for pussies. So liberals are much more likely to actually get a diagnosis, but I know conservatives who definitely need one. And yeah, I mean,
what
everyone
about
needs...
liberal? Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
everyone should. If anyone suffers from depression or if they have even emotional issues, I think everyone can benefit from some kind of therapy or spirituality or meditation or whatever. But it just so happens that the channels that actually get people diagnosis is going to be like the liberals are going to do that more and see doctors more.
So do they have access to more resources?
It's not about access. It's about being willing as well. Like I know people who just think therapy is for, it means you're weak or they're insecure about going to therapy. They don't want to admit they have emotions at all. These are usually more stoic men that have like higher suicide rates because they never actually talk about their emotions and never actually find a healthy way to deal with it. So they just stay quiet and they don't want to talk about, like going to therapy to them is a admission that they need help and they feel guilty about it.
So you're saying,
so they don't want to do it.
So you're saying that, do you believe people who are diagnosed with depression are more or less likely to commit suicide?
I don't
What if you were to
know
just guess off the top of your head?
diagnosis. I'm not really. That'd be interesting to look into, actually.
Well, I
If they
mean,
get,
if
like, an
you're
official
saying that,
diagnosis.
well, if you're saying that basically, conservatives just aren't getting diagnosed with depression, but liberals are, right? Liberals go to the doctor and they get diagnosed with depression, but are you trying to claim that like Republicans are more likely to commit suicide? That's actually not true.
No, I'm not saying that. I would probably say people that have more active brains would be more likely. Would be my first intuitive thought. And
Do you
liberals
think
have
that-
more active brains. That for sure, yeah.
Okay, so you think that basically your political opponents are inherently less, they're not as superior. They're inherently inferior too.
No, I think
basically.
conservatives
You know.
focus better on like things to do with local communities. Often, they stay more in their
stupid
family
things.
unit. No, I wouldn't. I would
Right,
not
like
say
dumb
stupid to
things.
care about your family. No.
Okay, but liberals are better at focusing on like more worldly things that
Yeah,
require higher
that
levels
definitely
of, higher levels
not
of
higher
thinking. Is that what
level,
you
just
believe?
more attention to like it's overwhelming to care about the entire world at the same time. But you could be a very smart person and only care about your family and be more like the mentality in America is that you want a nice suburban home away from society where you feel safe, you have a lot of land. More conservatives have that dream, but liberals are more likely to live in like a city with a lot more things to
Do you know
think about.
where does that dream come from? By the way, do you know where that dream comes from? Like, what is that? Like, you could probably take a guess, right? Like the whole dream about like have a house, some land, some picket fence, 2.5, 3 kids, whatever. Where does that come from? A job
do you
that you
mean
can
the-
take care of your family.
You mean the nuclear family?
Yeah, no,
Or
not
what?
the nuclear family. There's all sorts of different. Some countries have big nuclear families, some have smaller ones. I'm talking about, got some land, a picket fence, a couple dogs, some kids, a wife. You have a job where you can support yourself. Where does that dream come from? Isn't that the classic American dream, right?
I wouldn't really say so. I think that's one version of it. There's a
No,
bunch
I'm
of
not
different
talking
versions
about
of
a
it.
modern.
Like in
We're
my
talking about-
opinion,
let's go
the
back,
real
like,
American dream
200 years.
is that of, if you want to say like the original colonies, immigration. I think immigration
Yeah.
is the point of the American dream, and then like the full ending
Since
point
the
would probably
60s.
be. No, like the entire
Since
history
the
of
60s.
America. Entire history of America has been immigration
founding fathers
and
believed in
our
immigration?
colonies.
The founding fathers
By
didn't believe in immigration.
definition, they
The
were
founding
able to go
fathers-
to a different land and occupy it and make a country out of it.
That's
so.
settlers. They were colonists. They weren't immigrants.
I said
Colonists
13. I
came-
said 13 colonies. Immigration wasn't even.
Right, they were
when was
colonists.
immigration? When did America have open borders until?
America didn't have open borders. They invited people to come in to settle unoccupied land that was open so they could take advantage of the resources and develop the nation at the time. It wasn't about just come here whenever you want. They still regulated people who came here. I mean, you couldn't
There
come
weren't
here if you were from
really-
any
there
place in the
wasn't-
world. You'd have to be
there-
European.
The first ever like big immigration law was the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, around the late 1800s, and then the early 1900s we
That's
started
not
having
true.
like It is true. We had mostly settlers until then, because the whole western
I'm
part
sorry,
of
but
the
the
country
founding
was later.
documents of the United States were very explicit and clear that this was a country for free white people. That's what they said. I mean, I'm not even saying I have a problem with them. I'm saying that's what they said. I'm just pointing out a fact. That
Well,
was
that's why
the
we have
first
amendments to the
immigration
Constitution, right?
policy. Right, but that was the first immigration policy. Was basically we want to
So
protect
white
people
immigrants were okay?
that we're. Yeah, that's the first policy. But
Do
that's
you
not my point.
think
We're getting
that?
off on a tangent.
Do you think all the people who live
I
in
was trying to
California,
actually
for
ask something
example, when
else.
it became a state, were all white?
California
they
is
an
mostly
exception?
not white. California is mostly Hispanic. So it's
Okay, so
like
why did you bring
majority
up the point about
non-white.
white people, about being for white people?
Well, the reason I brought up I was trying to talk about the classic American dream trope, right?
Sure.
That probably was created by, obviously people who desire nuclear families and a home and land and stuff like that, and a little bit of the government and things like that. Maybe some propaganda, whether it's positive or not. But that was always a part of sort of more traditional, what you would call archaic, you would call that, or anachronistic, right? It belongs in a different time. That was the classic American dream trope.
Okay, and
Well, that was more of a while ago. Do you know what I mean? So you don't believe that that's the new American dream. The new American dream is being an immigrant, come here and make money, right? Get a
no,
job.
I would say like
bring your family.
Ellis Island, New York City, and the development of I think multiculturalism is the key defining peak of America is multiculturalism, and you could debate like immigration
Right.
policies,
That's what
but
you
like
believe.
yeah, no, that's
Believe that's your opinion,
objectively, that's why America is so rich and successful. 'cause we
Well, I
take
guess
the-
it depends on who's in power and whether or not that's objectively true, right? Because if people are in power who don't agree with you, then you're not getting your little reality, are you?
No, I'm saying
So your reality
objectively,
is
we
basically
get the best
predicated on
from
who's in
everywhere.
power.
We get really good
Your
people from
reality
everywhere.
and what you believe is the American dream
No,
is
that's-
predicated on who's in power.
I mean, it can be different for different
Period.
people.
That's why
so,
you
like, if we
oppose
talk
your
about,
enemies.
I don't call them enemies typically. If you want to view
Well,
it that
you
way,
don't want
can.
them around power,
So,
that's
like,
for sure, because they're dangerous,
one big,
right?
let's talk about one transition. So during the New Deal period, FDR had a lot of Dixie Democrats, right? Dixiecrats, and they switched parties essentially after
I
the
heard
Civil
the
Rights
whole
era.
the Democrat
so, like,
story
a lot
about how
of,
they went from being KKK to like now they're the party of diversity and whatever,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's
I get the
true. But
story
like,
they
okay,
tell.
so the big thing with the federal government. So during the New Deal period, a lot of conservatives or people that are conservatives now loved the government because FDR made sure policies really just helped white people, and our early bills did not help
Right,
like
exactly.
black
So
vets,
it's
for
about
example.
who is in power that
so
aligns with
wait,
you.
Wait. I'm just saying. So like right now, a big period where this did change is the federal government only helped white people initially, but then the Civil Rights Movement came, and then the federal government was doing forced integration, and then a lot of conservatives hated it because the big government made them integrate with black people and other cultures. So like the view of government can change because of that kind of thing.
I'm not even a
the
Republican,
Conservative Party
dude.
today
I
is
can
on
tell
our
you
side.
right now, the Republicans oppose. Like the Republicans
By
are the
definition,
ones
they are
who were the
conservatives,
party
yes.
of anti-slavery. The Republican
No,
Party is. No, I don't even want to get into that.
No, I'm not saying Republican.
I was
didn't say
really trying
Republican.
to.
No, I did not say Republican, right? I said conservative. Conservatism at the time would have protected traditional values. They would have protected traditional values. which
So
would have been
you're
slavery.
saying that
Yeah.
basically the KKK, which was overwhelmingly Democrat, and
They
again,
were
I'm not
Christian
trying to get into that
nationalists.
stupid story. I'm not trying to get into that stupid story.
They were conservatives, though, right?
They were
conservative. You can say they were
but they were also
Democrats.
Democrats.
Yeah, but the
This
parties
whole,
don't
like,
matter
this
as much
whole
as the
dichotomy
ideology.
thing is so ridiculous.
No, it
exactly.
doesn't.
That's
no,
what I'm
but
trying to talk about.
the ideology matters
Yeah.
more. So they were conservative still. So that's
Right.
in line with the current Republican Party, but they were Democrats, but they were still
Okay.
conservative Democrats. And that's why when
Right.
the party shifted again, conservatives
Uh-huh.
went to Republicans and liberals went to the
It just
Democratic side.
magically shifted.
Not
When did
magically
this
after
magical great
policies.
shift happen?
Again, the civil rights
Right, because the
era.
Democrats all of a sudden decided they wanted to align with outsiders, and so people are like, "Well, we don't want that," and so they switched.
Well, they chose
Is that
the
what you're saying?
pro-freedom stance. They liked freedom. Republicans have always been, or sorry,
Oh yeah,
conservatives
so the
are
Democrats
anti-freedom.
just went from
Conservatives are
like so
anti-freedom. yeah.
FDR was all about freedom. Right?
No,
what did
conservatives are
FDR say
anti-freedom.
about keeping the black vote? And he used that special word
Yeah,
that nobody
yeah.
liked.
Even so,
about
like
how he'd
for
have
example,
them
so
voting for him for 100
you know
years.
how like do you know how like
You remember
conservatives
that?
and
And not
liberals?
that I care, because he was
okay,
right.
okay, you gotta let me talk. Let me talk. Okay, so you know how like liberals and conservatives still existed, even during slavery. So like in every period of history, the liberals have fought for more freedom, and conservatives have said let's keep it the same. In every period, so liberals keep
Okay.
moving it along over time. So FDR, yeah, he was racist for sure, 100%. I don't reject
So
that
how
whatsoever.
far back are we
but over
talking about?
time,
Are we
he was still
talking
more
about-
liberating for economic purposes in general in America, and was still moving along
So
that liberal
FDR,
path.
who's okay, so no, well, I actually wanted to talk about the mental illness thing because I wanted to say I find it interesting that basically it is actually predominantly white women who identify as having a mental illness, even if, and I'm sure you've seen this before in your own life, where they don't even have to be diagnosed. In fact, we have this culture where basically people will overwhelmingly believe that, oh, that's so ADD of me. Oh, I'm so depressed. We use these clinical, like, psychosomatic terms to identify just basic normal human behavior, right? Where it's like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm depressed. I have anxiety. I have PTSD. I have ADD. All these other things, right? I just find it interesting that the most supposedly free-thinking, liberated people would have identities that are sort of wrapped around these sort of corporate constructs that are designed to sell pills, which the pills, of course, control you, right? I mean, they literally create these identities for white liberals who have had their identity stolen from them. They are victims, by the way, and I find that white liberals are actually victims, but not like they think. They've actually had their identities stripped away from them, and they've accepted new ones that revolve around a totally different victim class, which is being mentally ill. And that's easy to control because you can give those people pills. You can easily control them. They're not allowed to even be proud of anything anymore. White liberals aren't allowed to be proud of anything. They've been stripped of their heritage, their culture, everything.
What
and
are
now
you
they have
proud
to
of?
adopt this
What
new
are you
one.
proud of in America? What makes you proud to be an American?
I mean, I know I was taught the same things that you were. I mean, all the different liberal ideals that you believe in is what I was raised on.
Tell me, no. What makes you proud to be an American? Like, what key features of America are you proud of?
There's nothing really that I believe in is I mean, I guess it's really hard. Look, I am proud of things that aren't really here anymore. It's a different country.
Okay, like what?
I don't
what's
live
not here anymore?
We don't have traditional families. We don't even have families at all. We don't have, wives and husbands. What is it, like some 10% of millennials are over 30, don't have a home,
like, what's
their
the
own
ideal
house?
wife? What's the ideal wife in your mind? Like, what's the ideal like home makeup if you had to choose? Like, what?
So
man does,
you're
what the
you're
woman
basically
does?
trying to paint me as someone who wants to control women, and
You can just
that's
answer
my
the
ideal is
question. You can
controlling
answer. Okay,
people.
you realize, but I got to give you a tip real quick with social awareness and talking about mental health. If you answer defensively, then we know that you feel insecure about that. So do you mean that? Are you
Not
going to say that?
defensive. It's I know what you're
Then
trying
answer
to.
the
I know your
question. Well,
opinion.
you could just
But
answer
I
the
already know
question
your.
then.
Look,
Okay,
I already
then
have
just
a
answer the
fiance.
question
I'm getting
then.
married in June.
Okay, but when
I
you
have
talk
a
about
fiance.
society,
I'm getting married in
you said
June.
You said society's gone.
My
So we
wife.
need society to
My
come
wife.
back. What kind of society do we need? What do we need to come back?
My wife or my fiance is a kind, caring person who's non-argumentative, who understands that my role is as a husband and what I need to do. My role is to protect and provide a stable home and to be a rock that doesn't break. And her role is to be sort of like a more of a emotional type caretaker, a loving, kind person. Not that I won't be loving and kind. That's not what I mean.
Okay, I have a question then,
More
after you're
social
done.
roles and stuff. What?
Okay,
and
so
this is predominant throughout the world. So the fact that you would find that, I know that you don't like
I'm
that,
not
and you
getting
want both of us
okay,
to
okay.
share things
No,
equally.
I want to know your
50-50.
opinion. I want your opinion. Okay. I think it's good to
But
have
that's me, and I want a
any
house
makeup
with
that
no
works for
taxes.
people. That's good for you. That's good for you. It's not good for some people. So like if you have a family where let's say the husband makes like 40, 50K a year, but the wife makes like 100,000 a year. She's the breadwinner. Is that okay to you? Like, is that a good family makeup? Or?
Look, man, that's the society we live in. I'm not even like, this is
that
not
a bad
something
thing?
that we're debating about anymore, dude. It is what exists.
It's not a
That
debate.
is how the world is, bro.
I think people should have freedom. though.
I
I think that's
lost,
good.
bro. Listen, hey, bro, I'm telling you,
You
you
lost,
guys,
okay.
like, listen, people like me do not have cultural swing. You guys won. You Democrats,
but, like,
the liberals, the progressives, they won.
Do
You
you
guys
think,
won.
like,
I honestly don't even know what you're fighting
But
for
you're
anymore.
okay. You're
You have
not
the
one of those
occasional
people
guy
that wants
like
to.
me.
You don't want to overturn the 19th Amendment, though, right? You want to keep women's right to vote.
Oh, no, I definitely do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because
So you're
I
not
believe
that far
that
down,
has to do with responsibility. No, I do want to. If you were to ask me, I can't. I have no power over that because power comes from authority.
Well, I
And
know, but like
cultural change,
if you
that
could,
cultural change is not gonna happen.
though, if you could, would you say there should be no women's right to vote?
If I could have $1 billion,
So
I'd
you're
buy a
saying
mansion.
yes. You're saying
Like,
yes. You would remove that right to vote. Are you saying that the woman should need to vote with her husband?
No, what I'm saying is that the head of the household should be the controlling vote. The person who assumes the most
So she needs to
responsibilities.
vote with. Wait,
people
okay,
who
so
are
if a
home-
woman makes
just-
more money, she
if
should
you want
decide
my
the house.
opinion, you can. if a woman owns the property, now listen, that's the only problem is it's a complicated issue. It's complicated. There is nuance. I'm not going to like pretend that there's not nuance. Do you know what I mean? Some people are more level-headed than others.
No, but
the
sure.
problem is at the
If
end
a
of the
woman makes
day,
more money, should
men
the
are
woman make the
expected
choice
to
for the
die.
house?
And at the end, if a woman owns the property and makes all the money and makes decisions for her husband and all this other stuff, then sure, why not?
Do you think
can
that
have
it's
it.
like okay? Do you think that property owners should have like a leg up in voting versus people who don't own property?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. You don't have to like it. I'm just telling you what I think.
I mean,
I
I
definitely
know.
that the way that we do things now is not functional. Like we
I think
don't
it's
get
pretty
anything that
functional.
we want in this country.
Yeah, we do. We're at the
How?
peak of human civilization right now. We have the longest life
We're at the
expectancy.
peak of human
We have the highest
civilization.
level of
If we're at the
technological
peak of
advancement.
human civilization, how can we have so many young men that are isolated and alone? And like we didn't even have that. Like 2,000 years ago, a man could find a wife and even a fucking a goddamn
because they were
box to live in if
forced
he wanted to.
Women were forced to be with
They
men
were
to have
forced
anything
to.
in life. Yeah, they had no
Are you
ability to have
forced
bank
to
accounts or jobs.
circumstance?
Yeah.
Circumstance. Are you
They literally
2,000
could
years
not
ago?
survive
They
on
had no
their own.
bank
They were
accounts.
not allowed to. No,
There
I'm
were
saying
no
like
bank
I'm
accounts
saying
2,000
50
years
years
ago.
in modern society. We don't do things like we do 2,000 years ago. We don't live till 14, running through the woods, and trying to.
Nobody
scavenge
lived
our
till
entire
14.
lives.
That's not even true. They lived till their 40s and they lived till their 50s. And
A lot of,
sometimes
I
60s.
promise you, 2,000 years ago,
That's
a lot
not
of people
true.
only
It
lived till
was because
14.
of it was
I promise
because
you, a
of
lot
the
of people only
mortality
lived till
rate.
14.
No, the
They still-
mortality rate of babies. The
Okay, I don't
mortality
think
rate of
anyone
women
wants to
who had
borrow
babies.
society from 2,000 years ago. I'd probably say that right now at the peak of human civilization.
This is the
I'd
problem.
rather
This
do
is the
now
problem is that we
versus
believe
2,000
that we
years
are
ago.
superior to everything in the past. This is the problem that I have. I don't have a problem with someone who has an idea about progress as sort of it's a very general term and it can mean anything. Anytime a political party basically straddles themselves on the concept of progress, anyone should be suspect, because if the party is literally progress, then you must vote for the party to have progress.
Well, no,
that
not
to me is
unlimited. No, it could
propaganda.
be.
You
There could
can't
be
trust
some.
that.
No, there could be some differences in there. But if you're an anti-freedom party, if you're anti-choice, for example, or if you're anti-women
What does that even
voting,
mean, anti-freedom? I don't
if you're-
believe
if
that
you're
the Democrat Party is
anti-women
anti-freedom.
having First Amendment,
I don't believe
if
it, dude.
you're-
I do not believe that you or the Democrat Party are anti-freedom. Do you know what I believe they are? I believe they are freedom for their allies. They are pro-freedom for people that agree
Do
with
you
them.
think they're anti-white
That's
freedom?
just like
or
every
anti,
regime.
Do you think they're anti-white men freedom?
Well, I mean, that's sort of obvious based on the numbers. I mean, you can look at that, like where you look at the people they hired during the lockdowns. You can look at the people that sort of like that they enlist
you know that
in their
that's a
bureaucracy.
funny thing about that.
I mean,
so
that's not- I don't even have a
after
problem with that. It's just an
Fortune
opposed.
5.
It
So
doesn't
you're
even mean
referring
anything.
to the amount of like people of color that
Fortune
were hired
100.
after 2020. Yeah, but do you realize that they
It's
still hire
Fortune
like
100.
they still have 90% white managers, 99% white owners. They have 90% white workers in general, even with that big boost.
Yeah, but they
in
literally
non-white
sit down.
hiring.
Listen, I don't even know if that's true.
It
Because
is
I
true.
can't cite,
I've had a debate on this before.
Okay, so I
on my-
get it,
on
but
my
we do
page,
live in a
yeah.
country that is majority white, right? So it's kind of difficult if you're
Yeah, and
intentionally
white
trying to
people
avoid.
make up 70% of Congress still, or 75%.
Here's the problem. Can I tell you what my problem is? I was actually a liberal for a very long time. Not very long time, but I probably gave up on that when I was about maybe 17 years old, and I am now 36. And here's my problem. When I was young, the story that I was told is that everyone is to be accepted. We're colorblind, we don't think about this, and that's exactly how I was. And then when I found out that the real goal was it was like, oh, you have to be tolerant, but we don't got to be tolerant of you. To sit there and listen to it, do you know how it feels to have a politician sit there and talk about literally, we need to get rid of these people. There's too many of this. You know how bad that sounds? There are too many of this race in this country. We have to get rid of them. That's not even like a loose term like immigrant. Dude,
Who said
do
that?
you know?
Who
You don't
from the
know?
Democrats said that? Who said that? Who said it from
It is
them?
the
Who
Democrat
said we got to get rid of
Party
white people?
platform.
Who
How is
said
this-
we got to get rid
how
of white
many
people?
articles? Okay,
Who said it?
do I need
okay,
to pull
articles.
up
Okay. We go from Democrats to articles. So random people on the internet. So random people. I think you suffer from mental illness. You're making up different straw men in your brain.
This is my
Yes.
problem. This is the problem in this country.
You
Like, we
sound
literally
crazy on this
believe-
conversation. You sound insane. You have to calm down a little bit.
Okay, look.
Like we have to be able to slow
I
down the
know.
conversation.
Listen,
and
I've been
have a
around long
conversation.
enough. I have been listening to them march. I literally saw them march in the streets. I was literally.
I know
in
we
the
all
protest.
saw them,
I lived
buddy.
in
We
the
all
city.
see things. We all see things.
No, but I was
promise you,
physically
we all
there.
see
I got
things.
jumped.
Sure you were.
I got
sure
jumped
sure
going
you
out
did.
to get my. No, I was
Yes.
with my girlfriend. It was girlfriend of 7 years. I was with
Is
her.
this okay? Is
and
this
we
when
were,
you go to the right wing after this? Were you liberal before this?
Well, part of it was when basically a bunch of Democrats, younger people, bunch of kids, they jumped me. They spilled
A
drinks
bunch
on me.
of
They
Democrats?
spit on me.
Wait, how do you know these are young Democrats?
Absolutely.
Where was this at?
Because it was a Democrat gathering. It was in Portland,
wait,
Oregon.
what
I live in
kinda-
Georgia, by the way.
What kind of gathering for Democrats?
They were having a. I was there with the protests when Trump was elected. I watched them burn down the cities. I watched them
The
burn
city
things
was
down. I
not
saw it
burnt
with my
down.
own eyes.
Wait, what do you mean by burn down
Yes,
the
they
city?
did, dude. I was there. There was
The whole city.
fires in the
whole
streets.
city's gone. The whole city's
Bro,
gone.
do you know what? Do you know how? Can I tell you what they were doing there? Can I tell you without you getting upset?
Portland, Oregon.
I'll tell you something. There was a bridge in Portland. It's like an iron bridge, okay? And if you go up the ladders on it, you go up to the top of it on the side that's in the city, in the downtown area, you look over, there's a giant wall. There's a wall that forms kind of a circle. They call it the art wall. The city built it calling it the art wall. What they were doing with it is they were allowing all the people that were going in downtown, I saw it with my own eyes, who stayed behind that wall. And they were having trucks come in with food, water, whatever, setting up tents and everything. And when the night came, they were releasing them into the public, and they were letting them do whatever they want. Beat people, riot, attack. People died. People got shot. People had their businesses burned. I saw them with my own eyes march with signs that literally said, kill white people. So I kind of feel like maybe
Okay.
the
You said the
actions of the
Democratic
people
Party.
in the party
You said
matter.
that's not in the party. These are random protesters. And also, when it comes to
They're
a
not
city
random
like that,
protesters,
when,
dude.
okay, calm
They were
down,
literally
calm
being
down,
paid.
calm. How do you know they're being paid? You're making up a
Don't
bunch of
stop.
stories, bro. I hope you get the help you need. I really do. Like, this is insane.
Why do you talk? Why are you being so condescending? Do I call you this?
Because-
Do I say you're mentally ill? I literally said I get what you're saying. I understand your perspective.
No, but when we talk
and
about
that
like
I actually
1% of a
understand
city
why the
being
Democrat Party does what they
vandalized,
do.
1% of the city being vandalized in one city in America
wasn't
is not evidence of the
1%.
Democratic Party. It's not,
Dude,
yes, it
they
is. If you look up
posted
the actual numbers
signs.
behind it, I know you saw something scary. It doesn't mean the whole world is falling
I
down.
didn't see-
you
dude,
cannot find
dude,
one
I saw
Democrat
the
who said
same
we got to
thing.
get rid of white people. You did not find one actual Democrat who said we got to
Not
get rid of
one
white people. You
Democrat?
cannot find one. Yeah, find me one
dude,
Democrat.
you got to be like what, 25 years old?
Find me one Democratic Party. You said it's the
you
party
didn't-
platform. You said it's the party platform.
Bro, not at the moment. They've stepped back from that just a tiny bit.
There is no
because it was
party
pissing people off.
platform. There's no party
Yes,
platform,
for the
right?
the last year, ever since Trump won again, they've been stepping back because people are getting really
No,
angry
but
and
there's
they're
no
losing
who's
support.
they. The random protester you saw is not the party platform. It's like saying
It
that
wasn't
every
a
Republican
random
is a literal
protester.
Nazi.
There was thousands of people. Dude, I saw people with my own
Random
eyes get
protesters.
jumped.
Okay, again, the Democratic
It
Party
wasn't
never
random
said get rid of white
protesters.
people.
The city was literally bringing in trucks with water and food.
Calm. I'm talking
Dude,
very calmly to you.
I
You are making
saw them.
you are
Listen,
making
I
yourself
saw them
not
with
look
my
good.
own eyes.
Okay.
Listen, the city.
If
the
you
city
can't
would
have
bring people, they
if you
would
can't
bring
have a regular conversation, if you think there's a big conspiracy where they're getting paid and they're getting brought in and the Democrats support that, I can't convince you otherwise. You're making shit up. I can't.
Okay,
have a
how can I
conversation
talk to somebody? How can I talk to someone who literally believes that when they see too many white people, it makes them uncomfortable, and they simultaneously will tell me, "Don't worry, it's not about you, bro."
It might
Are
just
you
be
serious?
You're making us uncomfortable, to be honest. You're not even letting me talk.
There's no us. It's just you and me right now talking. All those people that are in the conversation, I wonder how many are bots. It's you and me talking right now, dude. So who's uncomfortable? Well, it's not your audience. They're probably very entertained right now. That's what they're here to
I mean,
watch.
you
That's
are
why they
good for
give you your
numbers.
tips.
You are good for numbers, but like in general, when we talk about
I'm
like
good for numbers.
yeah, viewership, yeah, for sure.
I just
like
don't
for-
understand how you can sit here. But
Okay,
literally,
I can't-
listen, do you
okay,
not
if we're
know what
if
Joe
we're not having
Biden
a
said?
conversation,
Joe
I'm
Biden
not gonna
said
keep
that
going.
he said in a. All right, what do you want me to say? Can I tell you the quote from Joe Biden himself?
When we talk about parties and you say Democrats want to get rid of white people, there's a much higher chance that the Republican Party wants to get rid of non-white people in America than the other way around. When they pardoned January 6 people who said Auschwitz camp and we have to get rid of the Browns in America, he makes them administration officials after they beat up cops. That is more evidence the Republican Party supports crime and also, going after non-white people than random protesters that you saw in Portland. They are random. They're not party officials. The Democrats did not support these people. They never pardoned them like Trump did for the neo-Nazis. So like it's just not fair to tie this entire group to the people you saw. And by the way, if those people do exist, I agree they exist, but you have to be realistic about how often they exist, because I can say every Republican's a Nazi much easier than you could say the other way around. That's the big point there.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I think that what about the fact that Joe Biden himself Joe Biden himself, who is a leader in the Democrat Party, like de facto leader. Well, I mean, maybe not in the background bureaucracy, which is probably more influential on the things that he says and decisions he makes. But he talked about, he was like, listen, in this amount of time, the white people will be a minority, and we need to bring in Muslims. We need to bring in Africans. We need to bring these people in. This is a good thing. This is a source of our power.
Said we should be bringing in people to forcefully make America non-white. That was never said before. If he said it as a matter of fact, that is true.
Baby, dude.
Eventually, it will become less white people because there'll be more mixed race and also immigrants. I think it's good to be multicultural. I think it's good to be multicultural for sure.
You're not going to have a culture, dude. You're not even. Listen, I'm not even. I'm just saying.
The point of
that's
America
why white
is no
women,
culture. The point of America is no culture. That's the point of America. We have different cultures coming together. We are descendants
the point
of immigrants.
America is
even
no
from
culture.
Europe, even from Europe,
that's
even white
what works for
Europeans,
corporations.
even white Europeans as well. Even white Europe. No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
The thing that works for corporations is people dividing America into these different subsections. And Trump right now giving the biggest corporate handouts in American history to his donors. Then more than any president in American history being pro big business and using the topic of immigration to divide us and being anti-multiculturalism.
I never said that Trump was not a fan of big business.
You know who's
dude.
actually
He's a
fighting against big
billionaire.
business? Do you know who's fighting against big business right now?
Joe Biden
It's Zohran Mamdani. No, it's Zohran Mamdani and other immigrants who came to America to make this country better, who are Muslims and black and brown. Those are people actually fighting corruption right now. Christians
so you
are
want me
begging
to
for it.
support a guy who actively doesn't like white people? He said it with his own words, dude.
Yes, everyone
Like,
go
why
watch
would I
Zohran
support a
Mamdani. He
guy like
definitely
that?
hates white people. If you are insecure about your whiteness, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not about what I care about.
I'm not insecure.
At all. It's
I mean,
about
people call me white. They call me Jewish. They call me Muslim. They call me everything.
I'm not even trying to
I don't give
appeal
a
to your
shit.
nature at all. I'm not trying to
I
say
have
like, oh,
every
you should care
nature.
about white people.
I'm
Dude,
Italian.
your identity. Okay, so you're an Italian, and like, what if I said, hey, bro, we need more diversity in Italy because there's too many Italians? What
No
would you
one
think
said
that I
we
really want
need
to
more
do?
diversity because there's too many white people. He just
That's what
said, as a
they're-
matter of fact, I don't care about the random dipshit protesters, and you're making up a bunch of straw men because you're going crazy. Joe Biden never said
That's
we're
what they
going
did.
to.
All right.
You were making a conspiracy.
I'm not going to
The
raise
great
my voice. I'm
replacement theory is
sorry.
not true.
I'm sorry that
It's
I
just
raised
not
my
true.
voice. Can I give you an example of
Multiculturalism's
something?
good.
Is that okay?
You say our culture's going to be gone. I disagree.
that's
I
your-
think America's better with combined cultures and the melting pot. That's what makes America great. No other country in the world does what we do, and we want to lose that because
Do you know
of people
who?
like you.
Can I give you an example? Like, do you know who Brigadier General Richard Pratt is? Do you ever heard of that guy? Maybe not, but that's okay. Have you heard of him?
I'll look him up.
Yep. Okay, Brigadier General Richard Pratt. Okay, he was a leader. He was a general in the Union Army. Okay, so he was the man who basically was really. He was a man who had a different concept about kill the Indian, make the man. Okay. So basically what was happening at the time, there was this idea that, hey, look, if you want to dominate people, you just kill them. You get rid of them, you kill them, you remove them, and then you bring your people in, and that gives you, if you're in the leading position of authority, power. So he had a different concept, which was kill the Indian, make the man. And he had a speech about this. And he actually decried the Indians, you call them Native Americans, I call them Indians. Okay, we can disagree on that. It's fine. But he decried
Why would
them
you
as
call them
being
Indians, though?
racist.
Why would you call them Indians? Why would you call them that?
Just hear me, please, for a second.
Because you agree
That's
with him?
beside the point.
You agree with him?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't care about that.
Well, yeah, no, but you believe in the bad ideologies. Like, there's a difference in time.
Dude,
Like,
no.
You focus on these very
let me
autistic points that make no sense for your argument whatsoever.
No,
Like, when you talk
please
about
let
this
me explain.
person,
Can
you
I
need
don't
to understand
care.
the bad
No,
part
I don't
about
care.
it. Assimilation
It's like
is not the bad
100
part.
plus years ago?
Trying to destroy, we don't want to destroy the melting pot. The point of us coming together in America is not to destroy, it's to adapt, it's to grow off each other, it's to make everything better, everything greater, make America
Right.
great
Okay,
by coming together. It's
that's-
not seeking to
that's
eliminate
great,
anything.
but can I
What
finish?
about, like, when you say your white culture is being eliminated, you can live your life in America. No one's trying to make your type of marriage illegal. They're trying to ban it for gay people and
Can I-
trans people. They're
can
trying
I
to ban it
finish?
for black and brown people. They want to ban it for interest,
I-
all these different things. You are
I'm
not
not
being
even
attacked by the
like,
American
dude, I'm
government. You are not the victim. You are not the victim. You're not the victim.
I'm not saying I'm the victim. Dude, I just want to finish what I was saying. That's all I want to do. I'm not trying to make any of those points. I was trying to make the point about this guy who's a very pivotal person in American history. Okay? Now, you can look back. This is one of the first documented cases of someone using the term racist. A lot of sort of people who identify as neo-Nazis like to say that it was basically communist Jews from Russia who used the term racist, which, although actually true is not the origins of it. The origins of it were actually Baptists and Christians in the United States. And the first way that they used it is they would call Indians or Native Americans, whichever you want to call them, racist. And they would call them racist because they wanted to preserve their territory and their culture. And if they weren't, and by doing so, they were refusing to accept the new way of life. They would even send them to schools. They have schools, you could look it up, called the Friends of Indians. They had all these wonderful terms.
There's no historical record. There's no historical record that he used the word racist for describing American indigenous Americans. He actually used it to criticize people who were anti.
That's not the right.
He actually used the word racist to criticize
right
people who are anti-segregation. No, you're using this story is completely perverted
by
you.
You're not getting what I mean by segregation.
Everyone Google this right now. He did not use racist in that way.
That's not what I said. I didn't say he was anti-segregation. I never said that, dude. I didn't even talk about integration and segregation.
The issue, do you realize the issue here? No, but the issue here.
He believed in integration.
The issue with what he did, okay, the issue with what he did, okay, listen. The issue with what he did is not the integration.
I'm literally agreeing with you.
No, but what I'm saying is the issue was not the integration. The issue was the fact that they did re-education camps, right? That's the issue. Re-education camps, forced concentration camps are different from integration in the way that we did the civil rights movement.
Okay, but you're not letting me finish, bro, and you're putting words in my mouth. Like, I don't care if he was a segregationist or believed in integration or not. He was an integrationist. He believed in integration. He believed in taking people, stripping them of their identity, and integrating them into new society. That's what he believed in. He wanted them to become Christian. I'm literally giving you your own talking points here. My point is that he used the terminology racist as a slur against people who didn't want to accept these newcomers, which were us, into this country. And now this terminology, this political weapon, which was invented in America and been around for less than 150 years, the term racist, right? This terminology was invented here by a Baptist guy or some Christians or whatever. As a justification,
I don't care about the word racist. I don't know why you care about the word racist so much.
But
that
you don't
guy
think
was
it's
probably
interesting
more.
that our own government is doing the same thing to us?
Wait,
saying,
to white
people?
You're a racist.
Wait,
are you comparing?
Dude, have you never been called a racist before?
The victim mentality for white people in America is insane. This is insane.
This
is so. Yes, you are. You're comparing your plight. You're comparing yourself to Native Americans and the way they were treated in this country. It's bullshit.
Operation.
It's so crazy.
I am talking about a military operation.
It's insane.
No,
you realize that what that guy did. You realize that guy. You realize that guy. You realize what he did.
Bro.
It was definitely bad, especially for today's standards. But he was more liberal than the other people who just wanted to kill them. You realize that, right? You do know that, right?
So what do you think of how many? Listen, I just don't care about like liberal, conservative, integration, segregation. I am talking about the actions itself. Okay, the
so
metaphysical operation.
Who's under attack today, like the Native Americans were?
Dude, listen. In Japan, you know what they're doing in Japan?
Listen, answer my question. Answer my question. Who's under attack today, like the Native Americans were? Whose culture's under attack today?
Trying to make that point.
Whose culture's under attack today?
I'm trying to tell you.
What government policies today are stripping white people from their cultures?
Across the world.
What policies are stripping white people from their cultures?
Across the world. Listen,
so by traditional, do you mean we should be so we're anti-gay marriage, right? We're anti-same-sex marriage, right?
Oh my God, bro! I get it. You don't agree with me. Like you can literally repeat yourself over and over again. I know,
because you're an authoritarian.
I know you don't agree with me.
An authoritarian system of government. Yeah, you're an authoritarian. I want people to know you're an authoritarian. Yeah, obviously.
I'm not. I have no power. I have no power.
Yeah, but if you could have power, you would be an authoritarian. You are an authoritarian.
I live in the middle of nowhere.
You want to be you are an authoritarian. Your political opinions are that of an authoritarian. You would have a theocratic state in America if you could have it. That's the point everyone needs to know.
So
your ideology is dangerous.
What about when the American government? What about when the American government goes into the Middle East and tells Muslim women that they're being oppressed by their husbands to split up their families and tries to push complete Western ideology into traditional Muslim culture? Who is the bad guy there? Is it the Muslims that want to protect their culture, or is it the Western military operation?
Anyone who abuses human rights anywhere, and that could be either side.
I am the bad guy when the American government. I am the bad guy when the American government tells me that. The American government
isn't
like a for me. They're
you
for
sound like
themselves.
a dumb leftist. You sound like a leftist and a fascist at the same time. You
Dude,
care about the same dumbass topics. It's just so stupid.
I'm talking about a real
thing
that happened.
Normal convo.
George Bush sent his armies into the Middle East. And I don't even like Muslims, and that's the
about
reality.
interventionism
but
or not. Am I against their policies? Yes, I'm against their policies. I'm against all fundamentalism.
Yeah, but why is it that they went over there and were like, hey, LGBT, women's feminism,
There's a lot of
men are
reasons.
bad. Oh, why
There's
are they?
tons
They're
of
doing
reasons.
the same thing here. So if the operation over in the Middle East is, hey, we want to destroy these people by embedding this culture inside of their society that's against their culture
You
and
realize
pit their women
that
against their husbands.
Americans, but you realize that like American conservatives, they hate Muslims, right? Because they want the same policies for like gay people, for
I
example,
know
and traditional
that.
marriages. So it's
Yes,
about hating
it all
Muslims.
comes
It's
from
Islamophobia.
9/11, and they believed all the nonsense.
Yeah.
Yes, it comes from 9/11. They believe the nonsense that our government promoted.
How?
I
Okay,
have
what's
my
the
own
main
personal
way?
reasons.
Okay, you said you have a fiance. How is your traditional relationship being attacked right now in American society?
How is my traditional relationship being
Yes.
attacked? Okay, well, I could put like something really basic, like super lax divorce laws
New
that make it
donation
really
from Dev.
easy and not only profitable for the
$10
government
ask him about
who benefits
Israel.
from it, but really easy for people to break up contracts and benefit the person who breaks it up.
So like
this is
divorce.
a simple way that
So
families in this
divorce is too easy.
I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to leave bad relationships if there's something wrong, like someone's violent or dangerous. That's not what I mean.
So
What
you
I'm
don't like
saying is
no fault
that people
divorce,
are
right?
I personally do not like no fault divorce. My dad was
And
divorced
what would
many
be the
times.
fault
He
for it? Like,
married.
what would be the standard that you should be allowed to divorce by? In your mind.
I think abuse, like physical abuse, is one. You know what I mean? Cheating.
What
right?
about like
is
if a
another
wife
one.
falls? What if the wife loses passion for the relationship and she wants to date other people?
Marriage is not about just passion. It's also about legacy.
So like once you
I
have a
just-
marriage, the woman cannot leave unless if it's abuse. They can't just leave on
think
their own volition.
I don't listen. People can do whatever they want. I have no control of that.
No, I mean like
people
in
can
your,
leave.
but like again in your society, women would not be allowed to leave the relationship unless if you actually beat them and they can prove it, which is really bad. for many reasons.
No. That's not my no. In my society, we would have a government that encourages the fruition and strength of families by saying, "Hey, look, when times get tough, the tough get going. Try to persevere and find a way around it." Which relationships, and I'm in one. I've been in one for years. Love comes and goes. It grows. It goes up and it goes down. There's
I
never
don't know
a
what
static.
country
We
you live
convince
in.
that-
This country, like Democrats
I live
still
in
say that
America.
shit. Democrats and Republicans all say
We-
that shit. No
but we
one
live in
says
a
just
culture
divorce
in this
willy-nilly.
country.
That's a different
We live
thing.
in a culture in
if
this
you hate
country.
the culture, make arguments against it that are actually palatable. Don't
Dude,
have this
I'm
weird
not-
ass ideology. You're
A
just
culture
weird.
isn't a cult. Listen, it's not weird to believe that we have a problem in this
final
country
question. I got-
where people want to throw
okay.
away their relationships.
They
want to get rid of them, dude.
I got.
Are you married? How old are you? You know, it wasn't that long ago that a man like you would have your own house and you would have a wife and kids and a real job and you would be a staple in your community. And now look what they've done to us. I feel just as bad for you as I feel for thousands, millions of young men who deserve to have happy homes and wives
Trust
that aren't
me,
going to cheat on them and
I'm
wives
very
who care.
involved. I'm very involved in my community. I'm very athletic. I'm tall. I'm handsome. I got good stuff going on. I'm very
Okay,
happy.
dude, you know,
so don't worry about
right,
it.
but that's not okay. Maybe that's the case, but there's a lot of people. That's a big problem. Because, and by the way, if you look at the invention of
Okay,
marriage,
I
the
have-
invention of
okay.
marriage is designed to stabilize society and prevent men from becoming dangerous and violent. Because
Jesus Christ.
single, lonely, Dude,
I got
look at
I
the
got
Roman
$10.
Empire.
I got 10. Okay, the Roman Empire. Holy shit! You hit all the classics. All right.
Bro, where do you think that
$10.
marriage
I got
came
$10.
from? Like the origins of marriage.
I got $10. My final topic for you to ask you about your opinion on Israel.
I don't care about Israel, bro. I don't care about Israel. I don't like Palestinians. I don't like Israelis. I think Jews do not like my culture. I don't think Palestinians like my culture or my country at all. I see that as evidence, in Hollywood movies that are overwhelmingly run by people who basically are of that ethnic origin.
All
I'm not saying I hate them.
I
don't hate them.
the call. That's my final question
Dude,
for you.
but again, I don't have a problem with. I think Palestinians are probably under attack.
We've been talking for 40
I think they're
minutes.
under attack.
We've been talking for 40 minutes.
I think
No, I appreciate the call. I'm going to move on to.
No,
a couple
I
other
agree
calls
with you
before we
that
go
they're
to bed.
victims of an authoritarian government. That's what Israel is.
I didn't even give you an opinion on my opinion, but like regardless, I mean that's true. But like either way, like I said, that's my
Right,
final
but you
question.
know, I know that you want to pigeonhole me. That's why you ask it. That's
No,
what you try to do. So
I'm not-
you make
no,
a bunch
it's
of
not-
statements.
it's
You're
not
like,
pigeonhole.
every time I say something, no, if I make a couple of good points, what you do is you'll split off and go like, yeah, but what's your opinion about this controversial topic that will make people instantly disagree with everything you just said? That's
No,
what
no,
you do.
no. What I'm saying
I'm
is
trying
like
to
it's
say
not
that
it's not
you-
pigeonholed if you actually have those bad ideas though. If you actually are an authoritarian, if you want a theocratic state in America, you want religious fundamentalism in America.
No,
Americans
I want
are
people to
against
leave.
that.
I want the government to stop doing what they're doing, which is essentially, and not I'm not talking
No, no,
about.
but
I'm
you want the
talking about
government to say
general
women can't leave the
operation.
marriage unless if you abuse them. Women cannot leave the marriage if they just don't like you anymore.
No,
If they
I
don't
want
love you
them to
anymore. You just don't want that.
encourage happy, healthy homes. I want them to
Listen,
stop
listen,
putting
listen.
young
I'm
boys
trying to.
on
I'm
pills
trying to. I'm
when
trying
they're like
to.
10 years old,
There's
like
no.
they did to
There's
me.
no. Okay.
I want them to stop
Okay. I'm sorry.
calling
I
young
think you
men
have some personal trauma. All right. All right. You're not gonna
personal
say
trauma,
goodbye.
dude.
Have a good night. Okay. Okay. Okay, sweetheart. He went through a lot of stuff in life. Now you have to understand though, when you have the Trump admin winning and Charlie Kirk being prominent in America, that person represents a large section of America. Okay, we need to understand that. And I know people say kick him. I agree it's a bad conversation, but like you have to listen and understand what arguments they're making because this is working for young men. Charlie Kirk is very successful for a reason, right? Very successful for a reason. And those arguments are really working right now in America. They're dominating everything. And the arguments against them are not going to sound nearly as fiery as theirs do. But, yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hey, what's up? So first of all, uh, I want all of the Republicans, the people who voted for Donald Trump and MAGA, to just like take a second, do like a real deep, not even like a real deep, a real shallow internal critique of like how you think about things. If a Democrat were putting military on the street, would you accept that? Um, Secondly, that last guy was absolutely wild. He was sweeping for the genocide of the Native Americans and the stealing of their children to do forced integration. And that's just absolutely a fucked position to have.
But he was saying the bad part was the integration, and like I said, the re-education camps are the issue. But like people, and this is what happens on Tucker Carlson's show, right?
Well, no,
they bring on these fake
that's not what he
historians
was
and like
saying. He was saying
he
the forced
wasn't.
integration was the good thing. Like he was hyped about them stealing the children from the Native Americans and doing forced re-education to turn them into Christians.
But didn't he say he said, "How would you feel if they did that to you and stole your culture?" Wasn't he trying to use that as a analogy for what he feels he's going through, or like he brought
No,
up,
that's why
Middle East?
he brought up that guy. He brought up that guy as the point, like to be hyped on that. He was
But
sweeping
that
for
guy
it. He was
wasn't that guy
sweeping
more
for the
liberal at the
genocide.
time because the people at the time
He
wanted
was
to kill Native Americans, and he wanted to, he said he could save them basically, which is still bad, but.
Yeah, by doing the forced integration, by stealing their children, sending them to schools, and forcing them into Christian ideology.
Yeah, no, I thought he said a couple things about stealing culture, and I think he was trying to make some ties back to that, but like, again, he brought up a lot of topics where he said like, well, this thing's bad, and I don't like this bad thing, but it's like it's because, drinking water is bad because Hitler drank water and used water to kill. It's just like he used a lot of those things where it just like didn't make any sense what he was tying it to, but he wanted to poison it. And obviously he sounds crazy, but again, the crazy people are winning right now. They sound convincing apparently to people. And Tucker Carlson has on these Nazi historians. Joe Rogan platforms open neo-Nazis and people that deny the Holocaust. So we have not had a strong rebuttal to this stuff. It's not easy because they bring up a bunch of random ass facts and. Yeah, there's a lot of debates on that. And Jubilee, like the Mehdi Hassan thing, right? With the Jubilee panel. Like that guy would have went perfectly on that panel that Mehdi was on. And how do you debate someone who's a fascist? You can't really debate them, right? So
Yeah, I mean that guy was just absolutely insane. I just wanted to I just wanted to come in, talk for a few seconds, maybe do a little palate cleanser after that guy. If we ever get the ability to do forced lithium, he definitely needs to be on it. He needs a mood stabilizer. That guy is crazy, and really, you're right. No one's attacking his traditional lifestyle. He can go live out in the fucking woods in the middle of nowhere with his fiance that he's probably gonna beat the shit out of and raise his little incest family and stay the fuck away from my civilization and my roads that I pay my taxes for.
Well, he said that when I asked him what's the attack from the government on his lifestyle, it's that women are allowed to leave marriages. It's like, oh shit, dude, holy shit. But I don't think people understand what he means by that. We're so far disconnected from the days where women could be beaten and abused and battered and forced to stay in their marriages and not have bank accounts or not have jobs. Like his response to his response to how is the government attacking you is literally, my wife has freedom to leave me if she wants to. It's crazy as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. This feels like an outlier. We interact with these people a lot in this community, in the chat. You interact with these people a lot, and I want like to hope deep down inside of me that this actually is just like a really vocal minority of people who just have like the worst ideas in their brains. And maybe if we can get them to take enough ivermectin, it might kill off the brain worms that's causing this.
Yeah, he joined the conversation talking right away. He's like, your first two callers sounded a little slow, huh? It's just like, you can tell right away he's going to be one of those people. All right, thank you for hopping in. This is Kyle from our mod squad. Join Discord, right, Kyle?
Yeah, join the Discord. We'll argue with you here, or we'll just like bullshit. I don't know. We play Wordle a lot. Colton has worst words. I have best words. That's official now.
These are all names you can know if you come in the Discord. There's always good conversations. This time of night, there's usually conversation. We don't have anyone right now. Sprig wants to join really quick. Hi. Oh wait. Hi, Sprig. Wait. Is Sprig here?
Yeah, she's here. She's just muted.
Are you trying to say something quick, Sprig? Sprig is going to catch up on the audio for the stream.
Sprig.
I'm losing all my schizophrenic viewers from that guy. Oh. I'm back.
You good, Sprig? You unmuted, but you're not saying anything.
You're on the stream right now, Sprig. I didn't know if you want to say anything. All right, Sprig's mic's not working. Okay, wait. I'll try one more time. Hi, you're on the stream. Your mic's working.
Okay. It's working now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. It's my new phone, so it was my first time using it. So one of the things that he was saying, like, Kyle keeps throwing it in there, like about beating his wife, and like they're afraid that
One second, my fire alarm's going off. You can talk to the chat. I don't know why it's going off. I'll be right back.
His wife would leave him, but like I'm more worried that he is one of those people that thinks that abuse is only physical, and so long as he doesn't lay his hand on his fiance, that he's not abusing her. Because the way that he was talking, it was very gaslighty, it was very condescending. This woman probably has no identity of her own. And that worries me. Hello?
He's going to deal with his fire alarm going off. I mean, yeah, no, it definitely worries me. Look, no one cares if you want to have like a traditional life and you want your wife to be a homemaker and you want to support her. Like, it's whatever, I guess. But the idea of just like making it harder for them to leave from a marriage that they might be unhappy in, and especially a lot of these women who are leaving from marriages like this are making the hardest decision of their life. They haven't been in work for years. They haven't been able to support themselves. They won't be able to support themselves when they leave. It's literally unbelievably difficult if you are in the position of a traditional family to just leave anyway.
Well, and I think he said that he'd been with her for 7 years, too. So, like, she knows no different.
I don't know. Some people want that traditional lifestyle, right?
Right,
And that's cool.
that's fine.
And no one's like trying to take that away from you. But this idea of like using the traditional lifestyle and defending traditional values as a cudgel against people who you just don't agree with ideologically, or your religion might not agree with, or like your idea of a traditional family doesn't agree with, then you should I don't know, maybe read a book and learn some things. Just like actually
I'm
like
back.
gain some empathy or do some like real self-reflection, or maybe even go talk to a psychiatrist and get that lithium prescription.
Oh, but going back to the original topic though about the mental illness thing, how I don't know, Jola, yesterday did you talk anything about Illinois trying to pass the bill or whatever to have children be screened for mental health in schools, and how like the conservatives don't want that?
Yeah, conservatives everywhere. Even in like a lot of school boards are rejecting any government anything right now. So yeah, states, cities, all that kind of stuff. They don't care that much about actually stopping these issues. They just want to complain about it. But yeah, it's really sad to see that.
I don't remember who I was watching, but like they brought up the point of like, you know, with all the school shootings and everything and trying to keep kids safe, like there's been an increase of, people getting hold of their children getting a hold of their parents' guns and then bringing them to school and, and all that. So, instead of the Republicans are against having the common sense gun laws and keep saying that it's about mental illness. So they go and they propose something to try and, maybe scope out the mentally ill, get them help before, they get a hold of their parents' guns. And they don't like that either.
Well, Sprig, that's because we only have money for two things, and that's putting more money towards ICE and Border Patrol, and also sending Trump golfing at his own personal luxury resort, where he is funneling taxpayer money directly into his own fucking coffers.
It's awesome. All right, guys, I'm gonna head back to the stream. I appreciate. Thank you for hopping in. The fire alarm blew my ears out. I'm gonna die right now. The fire alarm hurt my ears. All right, guys. Everyone join Discord. Everyone join Discord. Should I take another call? Deafin, I'll give you a mod for $200 in Discord. $500, $1 million for mod. $2 million. Actually, no. I want $18 billion and an ice cream sundae. Yes, you could be a mod on Discord. Actually, I don't know if you can. I don't know if the other mods will allow you to be a mod on Discord. You can have a special kids mod that says you're a mod but gives you no powers. Maybe that'd be a good one for you.
Hello?
Howdy there.
Oh, you called me back. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. What's up?
Okay. So I voted for Trump, but I don't really like Trump. I was really voting against the Democrats, honestly.
I bet you thought Kamala was annoying and you did not like her laugh.
Well, I completely disagree with a lot of the things that the Democrats stand for.
Okay, like what?
I mean, pretty much almost everything fundamentally.
So like
life,
higher
crime,
taxes on the wealthy.
law, taxation. Well, honestly, when it comes to the class issue with like the wealthy, I think that's the winning angle for Democrats moving forward. To be totally honest,
It's very popular. It works really good too for the country. Like Bill Clinton
they
taxed
get
the wealthy
away
more
from the
and
race
decreased
peddling.
taxes for the working class.
Well, if they get away from the race peddling,
Okay,
and all
well
of
that's why you
the
voted for Trump. You're mad
crazy
about
nonsense.
you're mad about DEI.
No.
Kamala did not
Well,
talk about race
it
at
all
all in her
factors in.
campaign.
It all factors in. Definitely, DEI is not the reason I went to the polls and decided
Yeah,
to
it
vote
is.
for the
Yeah,
first
it is. The
time.
way you just said
Fucking-
that's insane, bro. It's kind of pathetic.
That's a false accusation, but fine.
It's
Either
kind of
way,
pathetic.
I didn't decide
The
to
race
go vote
peddling.
for the first
The
time
race
in
peddling,
10
bro. It's
years
pathetic. That's bullshit. It's pathetic.
because of DEI.
No one race
Now,
pedals more than Trump.
DEI
No one
is
race
a
pedals more than
problem.
Trump. No one race pedals more than Trump.
So I will say that Trump is a very, very strong user of identity politics.
It's all he does. It's white
Okay,
identity
I'll
politics.
admit that that's the case. He's actually masterful at it in a way
Yeah.
that makes Democrats look like they're
He's
a bunch
better
of
at
fucking
it.
idiots. Well,
He's good at
it
white
just
identity
makes you all like
politics,
idiots,
especially.
right? I mean, as scumbag competitions go in politics, I think Trump just makes the Democrats look like morons, which is saying a lot because he can't be that.
Well, scumbags win.
he's probably
Scumbags win in
pretty smart,
politics.
but-
Bad people win. Look at the New York City mayor races in the past 20 years. Usually, scumbags win. Usually.
I I agree. I think when Biden won, that was a good example of bad people winning politics. Yeah.
Well, no, just in
Absolutely.
general, people that are willing to do political things are going to be good at politics and win. They're going to be better leaders. Like Bill Clinton did a really effective job with the budget and taxing the wealthy and doing some good programs with the actual government. Bill Clinton's like the overall moderate's dream candidate, honestly, with the economy. If you're a real moderate in America, and yeah, I don't know. Republicans today are bad at everything. So by every metric that we have available to us, so it's hard to say.
Well, personally, I don't like the Republicans either.
Well, they went off social
I think
issues. Yeah.
I think they're a bunch of wealthy assholes who basically, they want to crush the middle class further. I think that the truth is that the libs, the Democrats and the Republicans both want to crush the middle class, and they want everybody poor. That's the reality, and it's more advantageous for them, all of them, and they're all in on it. And I think the Epstein thing is a great show that both sides can't really start cleaning the closet.
It's probably
and
fake.
ripping these
It's probably
skeletons
mostly
out.
fake.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, who knows? But it's a giant
A
shit
lot of it's
show
conspiracy. Like
from one
saying
side
like
of
both
government
sides
to
are
the
the
other.
same is a crazy thing to say too.
God,
Probably the most
hey,
brain dead take in politics is, oh, the politicians are the same. Nothing matters. Like that's a really brain dead take.
I'm definitely not taking the nihilist perspective. That's why I got up and went to the polls.
Yeah, but voting for
That's the
Trump
point
over
of the
like
thing.
if you care about America, voting for Trump is a brain dead thing to do as well. Like policy wise, at least socially wise, Trump won off social policy. He won off a lot of propaganda, making people mad at Democrats. He did not win from popularity or anything like that.
Well, I think he won over the border. Probably was the biggest thing.
But the first time he won, the border was the first time he won. Obama was just as hard on the border, if not harder. The first time Trump won, so I don't really agree with that. He did win
Talking
off the
about
border, but not for good
2016?
reasons.
So talking about 2016, perhaps so, but
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
like
actually vote in that election.
Trump's entire career. No, but I'm saying like Trump's entire career is based off him hating immigrants. Like because Obama was super tough on immigrants. He was extremely tough on them. Like lefties and progressives said a lot of shit about Obama on immigration that they hated. But Trump was racist about it, so people liked him.
Yeah, I think
You
his
know how
wife
I-
is an
dude.
immigrant, isn't she? Doesn't
Yeah,
his
but
wife have a green card?
she's a mail order wife. Like she is literally the stereotype that an old if you're an old
Melania,
grimy
the
if you're an
first
old
lady
dude
of the
if you're
United States
yes
is a
dude if
mail
you're
order wife?
you know for a fact if an old grimy white
That's
guy
wild,
wants if an old grimy white guy wants a wife that's 30 years younger, she is the stereotype. She's the stereotype, bro. You know that.
That's pretty crazy that a mail order wife can write a fucking bestseller in New York Times.
You think she wrote that? Do you think they write their
I
own
don't
books?
know.
Any of them?
Who knows?
They don't write their
Maybe
own books.
not. Maybe
I would not.
The
If
way
I
she
was that
talks,
famous,
it's
I
not
wouldn't be
hard to
writing my own
believe
book.
that she is.
They have someone write it for them, and they do interviews for it. And no one writes their own books at that level.
I don't honestly.
You know that.
The biggest issue I have with Trump, and why I don't say I'm a Trump supporter, why I don't like Trump, is because I think he's pardon my French, but I think he's a smoking pile of dog shit the way he treats women. And I think it's undeniable. And I'm a pretty conservative guy. My issue with Trump is that he's not really a conservative. He's actually a liberal.
That's so cringe
A lot
and
of
gay.
people,
Holy
a lot
shit.
of people don't understand that that's the reality.
That's so
The
stupid.
reality is
he's a right-wing authoritarian. He's not a liberal.
Conservatism
You don't know what
is
liberal
way
means.
to the right of Donald Trump.
You don't know
who
what
is a
liberal means.
Liberal New York reality TV show.
Nothing about him is liberal, dude.
Darling.
Nothing
from
about him
back
is
in the
liberal.
80s.
Nothing about him is liberal.
Like,
Except he wants to
he's
do.
obviously hopped off of the left side of the bench and hopped onto the right side of the bench now.
Nothing
If we
about
go
him right
back
now
a
is
couple
liberal.
decades,
He is an
he was a liberal
authoritarian
darling,
right-winger.
Just like Elon was a liberal
He wasn't a
darling
liberal
before
darling. He was
hopped
a
off the
famous
bench.
rich guy with other rich people. He was not a liberal darling. He was still a piece of shit.
Okay, well, what's a good example? Oprah sure liked him back then. That was
Yeah,
because
because they're rich. Because they're rich. They're rich and greedy. Yes,
Okay,
they are
so
all
there's
rich
a
people.
rich
Yes. So
liberal
does Snoop Dogg.
like
So does
Trump
Ice Cube.
back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a liberal darling, right? Exactly.
No, he had rich people on his
Just
side.
like
He was
how
never
a bunch of rich
never a
liberals
liberal.
like Elon until he
He's
jumped
not
off the bench.
Elon's not a liberal either. He's not a liberal either. He just another
Definitely
money hungry
can't
person.
call him one now, can we? Absolutely not
You don't
now.
know what liberal
But
means.
So what does liberal mean? Tell me.
So like right now, Trump does not care at all about the Constitution or about the Congress or about passing laws. He wants to
Does he
bypass
become a
Congress
liberal
and do executive orders. So liberal would be like pro-liberal order in America, the Constitution, checks and balances, representative democracy,
Can you define
procedure,
liberal without using the
caring
word
about
liberal?
liberal social policies as well, freedom, free social policies more so. Economic liberalism will involve things like trade. It'll involve things like I said, checks and balances in government is a liberal system. Our founding fathers, like Mitch McConnell is probably a liberal, and so is Obama, if we want to use a very technical definition of what liberal means in a liberal government. But like Trump is an authoritarian. That's the biggest thing that matters.
Do you think that the markets are any indication of the results of Trump's trade tariff plans? Or do
They
you
took a
think
big
that's
hit
just
from it.
Well, the markets are doing quite well, actually.
Oh, you do the
I don't know what
dumbass
you mean.
meme. No, they're down from what they should be. We took a huge hit on the market. It should be a lot higher than it is
the
now, but we knew it was
NASDAQ
going to grow.
Okay, so you obviously, I don't know how much you watch the markets, but the NASDAQ, okay, and everything in the S&P 500 has been hitting record highs pretty
Yeah,
consistently
after
for
Trump
a number
tanked
of
it with
weeks.
the initial Liberation Day, it was going to go up from the lower point, obviously. Like, obviously, that was going to happen. There's a meme about this.
It keeps ebbing and flowing like stocks do, but it attains
No,
record
like we
highs
took a huge
consistently,
hit. You are the
similar to
meme.
the
Let
way
me
it
find the
did.
meme. This is really. Do you realize,
Well,
like,
how is it a
okay,
record high then, right? So then they announce record highs.
because it's still going to go up. It's still going to go up, okay? Over time, it's going to hit all-time highs no matter what, but it should be higher than it is now. We had an economy that shrank for a couple periods
ironically,
because Trump did the tariffs, and it's a
Well,
huge tax
ironically-
revenue added to the American people, higher taxes for us, which I'm not very happy about.
wouldn't you say that the stock market did well during the Biden administration?
I
The
don't
market
care
did
about the
well.
market. That's not my
That's
my
what I was
determining
about to ask.
factor.
Do you feel like the market is even a good way of
No, it's not.
of representation?
It's
That's
not
the whole,
a.
that's my question.
It can show a disaster. I don't think the growth. It's not inherently good, but it can be bad when it goes down a lot. If there's a huge disruption, it can be a sign of bad things. It's really like a predictor. And looking at futures and everything, that matters more than the market itself. Because like if we had universal healthcare, which is something I'm very for in America, that would tank the market. Like it would, healthcare companies make up a lot of, or insurance companies make up a lot of our market.
Yeah.
So that would tank the market, but it'd be a good thing for people in America, in my opinion. So it's not always the best thing.
Well, how would tanking the healthcare markets be a good thing for people in America? How does that work?
So if we have universal health care, although the investors will lose money, the American people will get health care because we don't need to care about their profits anymore. We can care more about just
But
giving
how
health care
does
to
that
people.
logically make sense when the investors are the people who possess the wealth that affords the health care for people?
Because
right?
instead of them making profits and making decisions that are only for profits, now we have a system that wants to serve people and we tax them more instead, and we have it be a public good.
Wouldn't that just reduce the quality of the service?
No, every healthcare system that uses universal healthcare in a first world country has a better service than we do. Better life expectancy, better care in general. Our wait times suck as well, by the way. You can bring up wait times in universal countries, but our wait times suck in America as well, unless if you're extremely wealthy or lucky.
To compare American healthcare with foreign healthcare that's a government healthcare system seems a little bit. It doesn't really seem like a. It seems like it's a false conflation. Like you would more so compare.
What?
It seems like you would more so compare the way that happens in America in contrast, right? Rather than just saying, oh, well, in foreign countries, they have a healthcare system that's based on socialized taxation, right?
No, like
And
in
over there,
Australia,
it
for
works
example, in
But what I'm
Australia,
saying is,
they have a
if
comparable
you would compare
market.
government healthcare with private sector healthcare in a single country, you would see a notable difference in quality. So
The entire
even if-
system is what matters. No, that's not
even
true.
if public health
What you're
care
saying
in
is
the
not
UK
true.
is better than private health care in the United States, imagine what private health care in the UK is like. Because there's a big fat quality distinction
it'd probably
between
be
government
worse.
provided services and privately provided services. 'Cause the
In
private
areas
sector
where they have
makes money.
in areas where they have public services funded well and taken care of, they're much better than private services for things like healthcare that don't have proper markets with inelastic goods. Like in Australia, they have.
So like $8 billion.
Okay, someone else calling. I'm not fighting for speaking time at 1:19 at night. Someone else call in. We could do the same conversation. We'll keep talking about it. I just can't do it. I don't want to get two words out. Healthcare conversations are more complex. I'm just not doing it. I'm too tired. I was counting down like strikes during that conversation on how many times I'll be interrupted. And I'm just tired, bro. It's 1:19. I'd rather go to bed.
like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
What? What is that? Whoa. Is the fire alarm Antifa? My fire alarm went off. Now in America, when I say that the market tanking for healthcare would be an okay thing. Well, when I say the market tanking for healthcare would be an okay thing because the money for that would be used for healthcare and we'd have a more targeted market. There's a bunch of different factors that would lead to that. But I think I'm too tired to explain. Imagine if the hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars we give to corporate boards and CEOs, imagine if all that money went to healthcare instead of their profits. And instead of spending money to fire people and kick them from their healthcare and to deny them claims, what if that money was used to hire people to give people more healthcare? And no, like if you compare, like if you have America with private insurance and every single country around the world has a form of public health care and they have less money than Americans do, we are richer than those countries. If we are richer than them, but they have better health care than we do, we should probably borrow the things from their systems that work. That's my whole argument, but I could not get those words out without him interrupting me. All right, guys, I might go to bed. Yeah, it might be bedtime. I'm going to do a 5-hour stream tomorrow, hopefully, for Devin, for all the donations. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Really appreciate it. For the super chats in chat right now, thank you for the super chats. Please kick. I saw that earlier. I'm sorry. I had to keep it going. It was good for viewership. We have to keep some uncomfortable convos going. I definitely understand if you got to dip away from the stream for those. But I need to explore them a little bit. This L. Teresa, freedom for a woman to choose not to be with a man. With him is why I love democracy. Yeah, that was crazy when he said, how am I being restricted from freedom by our government? White men. And the restriction of their freedom was women being able to have no-fault divorces. Crazy. Insane. He wants a white male-dominated country for $2. Thank you again, Teresa. Yeah. His culture's being taken. Then his focus on mental health issues was from, he brought up himself as a kid being given pills. So who knows what happened there. But again, in society today, they don't care about stats. So it's like, well, this medical regimen works for 95% of people. They will focus on the 5% of people that it does not work for, and they'll call for the entire system to be destroyed as a result, right? So that's the big issue with everything today. Thank you for $5, Cold Bean. Everyone wants perfection or they want nothing. They want death. Perfection or death. It's very bad and damaging. This guy's too emotional for this conversation. Very true, Cold Bean. Thank you for $5. I agree, Cold Bean. All right, tomorrow's going to be more video reactions. I'm going to do more YouTube videos tomorrow. Get those ready and all that kind of stuff. Appreciate you watching. Thank you for watching, dropping a like, comment, subscribing. If you want to donate to the show, Joel Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. That's Joel Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo if you want to support the show. Joel Politics, my channel name on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Follow my channel on TikTok, please. I need more TikTok viewers as well. Maybe Instagram, maybe Facebook. I got to get into Instagram and Facebook if I ever go full-time or half-time even. Join Discord. We always have conversations after streams. Depending on who's there. I don't know if I'm always there. It depends. What time tomorrow? Thank you for joining. Who's new here? Is anyone new here still for today? To say it's not a human right, it's flawed in how we are evolving. Right now they want to take it away from people. What if those greedy people have healthcare? New. Well, you don't gotta do TikTok. It should be banned in America. $2. How much to make it a 10-hour stream tomorrow? To make it a 10-hour stream tomorrow, 10 hours, I would need 2 Venmo or Cash App That'd be in the hundreds. That'd be like $250, bro, for a 10-hour stream. Yeah, that'd be like $200 to my Venmo or my Cash App or my PayPal for 10 hours. Are you kidding me? Hey, if you get it crowdfunded in Discord, crowdfunded in Discord, I'll do it. But it gotta be over 200. It's not gonna happen. I'm trying to, yeah, 300, 400, a big number, incomprehensible. $10 million and a Happy Meal. That's what it costs. Thank you for $2, Colton. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Colton, for $10. Devin said, bet. Don't even do that, dude. If you did that, I would kill you. I would actually, no, I would probably send it back if you sent me $200. At once, at least. Like, you can do that over a period of months or whatever, but at once is too much. $69 an hour. $69 an hour is crazy. Do it for free if you love America. What happened? Who's here? I don't see anything. Barbara's here? I haven't seen Barbara on here for months. If you do 250, you can get the other 150 during the stream. 310 in total? I don't know. Gotta support. Drilla hates America if he doesn't do it. Go to work. Stop begging for money. I would do lower. I would do like a per dollar per hour. Like if you guys donate like, what would that rate be? Like $1 per hour or $1 per minute? No, it'd be like a half hour for every $20. Maybe. $40 an hour. Would that, maybe. Maybe $20 for every 30 minutes. No way, it gotta be more. $1 a minute, dude. Of course. Of course, $1 a minute. Why not? To be added on to the 5-hour stream. I feel like it's already 5 hours. If I added time on to the 5-hour stream, it would have to be, because that's like a premium. Because you start losing energy after that. $50 an hour. $50. I can see $50 an hour. I can see that. Yeah, if you guys donate to me on Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or my coffee link, no YouTube super chats. Those don't count. Super chats don't count. But if you donate on there and you say you want it to go towards the 50-hour stream, or the not 50, you know what I mean. It'll be at a rate of $50 per hour. All right. The same goes for those donations during the stream as well. Tomorrow, during it as well.
New donation from Dev.
No.
$50 bet.
Thank you. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know what you've been doing. Is Devin rich? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's technically at 6 hours. There is a transaction fee though, so that was technically $47. But we'll count it. Yeah, it's at 6 hours. We're gonna cap it at 10 though. Shine bright like a diamond. What would that be? $25 per half hour? If someone donated $5, we would still count that, right? I feel like, or should it be every 25? Well, Sprig sent me a message about their D&D campaign tomorrow until a certain time. They don't gotta be there for the whole thing though. For Kyle, Kit, and DJ until about 10. That's fine. Weekend marathon stream. Yeah, it'll be every $25 is a half hour. And like I said, it's not going to count for YouTube. It's not going to count for YouTube super chats. It'll count for Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Any donations from this period now until tomorrow's stream will count towards that, guys. So if you want to donate, really appreciate it. But also, I'll stream for longer, and it's gonna be. I don't know. What if we get no viewers though? That would kind of suck. You're gonna have to help me advertise in different Discords. What is my Venmo tag? Oh, my Venmo is it's my channel name. It's Drola Politics. My Venmo is just the Drola Politics. You don't gotta donate. If you're a new subscriber, we appreciate those just as much. Thank you, really appreciate it. We're capping it at 10 hours, guys. Alright guys, I'm gonna get off here. I'll make a list of anyone that... Yeah, Strolla Politics. Anyone that donates, I'll make a list of it for the stream. How long would 10 hours be? That'd be 8 p.m. until... Oh, that's tough. That's actually kind of tough. I wasn't considering that. That's kind of tough. Yeah, there's the coffee too from Devin. Thank you. We're at 6 hours now, technically. Wait, did you give me... Thank you. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah, let's say tentatively around 8 o'clock. Maybe earlier. Wait, it might need to be earlier. Because I'll be up till 6 a.m. the next day, if not, right? It might be earlier. Sprig donated $20. Thank you, Sprig. Thank you, Sprig. Meanwhile, Tom Foolery does a casual 12 hours for like 20 bucks today. Yeah, but like... I watch a lot of streams. I do the highest difficulty, highest intensity stream by far of anyone that I know. It might not be as good as some of the greats, but there's no one else that does rapid fire calls like this. They just don't do it. They do React content. I would probably do better from React content, low key, mid key, high key. Thank you, Teresa, for 25. Teresa sent $25. We're at 6.5 hours. Thank you. L just sent $15. Thank you. That's 6 hours and what? Like 6 hours and like 50 minutes? Or something like that? Oh no, dude. Okay, we're only at 650. We're only at 650, dude. Hours. 6 hours and 50 minutes. We're not at 10 hours yet. We're probably not going to get to 10 hours, so we're probably good. Thank you, guys. Wait, are we donating? They are donating right now. They are donating. You don't need to donate. Again, you don't need to donate. We're at 6 hours and 50 minutes. Thank you, L. Spriggs, $20. Well, I'll round that out because that was before the goal. So we'll round out to 7 hours from that. So we're at 7 hours. So what would that be? What would that cap be? If I did 10, that would be 50 times 3, right? For $150? No, wait. 10 hours is a long... Yeah, I guess so. That'd be 150 more. Someone will probably donate. You're saying no balls? That's crazy. That's wild. All these people have money to give after Trump cut them off the tit? Wait, how does that make any sense, Lori? I'm gonna go insane without sleep? That's why I'm saying I gotta start earlier tomorrow. It'll probably be multiple streams, too. I'll probably have a timer on the actual stream itself. And then I'll do like a premium where it's like I'll do 11 hours for like 100 extra or some shit. But no, it works though, because I usually do, thank you, tinfoil hat. I usually, by the way, I wake up and I do DoorDash or I deliver Amazon packages, and then I do regular work during the day, and then I deliver more packages. Before I got online today, I was delivering Amazon packages, okay? And I got home at like 10 p.m., and I sat down and started streaming pretty much. So, like, if I swap out my Amazon for the night with streaming, that's why...
New donation from $20.
Thank you for... That was definite. Definite for $20. Thank you. Thank you. That's like 7 hours and 20 minutes, I think. Another $20. Is this OnlyFans? Yes, it is, Caveman. I'll have a timer on the screen for the whole thing because I might have to do separate streams. But again, if you guys have Discords or Reddits you're a part of, advertising the stream would be really helpful. I'll debate leftists too. Devin sent another $20, dude. I'm out of reactions to give you. I'm out of reactions. I don't know what to do. I could choke on water. The channel will never grow. Go to PBD Podcast. Patrick Bet David. What? Oh, okay. Valuetainment. Grim, call in tomorrow. We're doing a long stream tomorrow, Grim. All right, if you really want to. Thank you, Devin. Really appreciate it. What's going on there, brother? I don't get it. Last caller was a W, dude. So W. Why is he running? You can call in tomorrow. I'm not running. If you send me $50, Grim, you can talk to me. If you send me $50, all right, Grim? I know you Trumpers are rich from the Trump tax cuts, and he helped our country so much. You should be able to send me $50, and I'll talk to you. Okay.
Yes, please.
Hi, sir. There's new reporting that the Russians have hacked into some...
Yes, please.
Hi, sir. There's new reporting that the Russians have hacked into some computer systems that manage U.S. federal court documents.
Pretty serious. Pretty serious.
Plan to bring it up with Putin when you...
I mean, Trump is very strong. He leads through strength. He would never let Putin dominate America in any way, so Trump's going to fire back at him very strongly.
See him later in the week.
I guess I could. Are you surprised? You know, are you surprised? They hack in. That's what they do. They're good at it. We're good at it. We're actually better at it. But no, I have heard about it. I've heard about it.
Bro, this guy says that tariffs are an act of aggression. That if they charge their own citizens a 1% tariff on American beef, it's an act of aggression and war, bro. Like, we are at war with, like, Venezuela right now because of immigration and because of dumbass laws Trump is pushing for, dumbass emergency powers Trump pushes for. But Russia launches cyber attacks on America constantly, and he won't even bring it up with Putin when he talks to him. He has zero mean words whatsoever. Zero mean words at all about his daddy, Pookie Bear Putin. Trump loves Pookie Bear Putin. Trump, the little boy Trump loves his Pookie Bear Putin. It's so damn pathetic. This country needs to be just babied out to Russia and all these dumbass, weak-ass countries. America under Trump is a pathetic piece of very weak garbage, and we got to come back from this somehow. This is crazy. Please drop a like, comment, and repost this video. Follow my page, TikTok. I hate making TikToks. I'm going to keep doing it, though. I can fake outrage as much as possible for TikTok. Teresa! Dude! Teresa donated $100. A second donation is hit. I repeat, a second donation has hit the tower. A second donation has hit the tower. I repeat, a second donation has hit the tower. Thank you, Therese. Thank you. No deliveries tomorrow, Teresa said. Thank you, Teresa. Holy crap. That's crazy. That's insane. That's 8 hours. Wait, no, that's 9 hours. That's 9 hours. $50 more. And I gotta do the full 10-hour stream. That's a whole work day, bro. Grim can't afford 50. Oh, poor Grim. Talk to my Rode microphone hand. Listen. Thank you.
New donation from Pookie. $10
Pookie.
teeny weeny chump peeny.
Pookie. Pookie. Sprig. Thank you, Sprig.
New donation from 7777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777.
Devin Sprig donated $10 and Devin donated 50. Thank you, Sprig. Thank you, Devin. Oh. Well, that's 10 hours. Do I have to buy stuff? Do I need like... Is this like a marathon? Is this like a marathon? Do I gotta like buy gels, like Gatorade gels, so I don't die during it? Do I gotta get like Domino's or something? Whoa. Thank you. That's crazy. Alright, so the... It's gonna go up... The way I'm gonna do it during the stream is... Jesus, thank you. Jeffrey stood for 24 hours. Wasn't that was Cory Booker? Joel, wait, you get $50? Where? Wait, where did you get $50? Grim? Where's the $50 at from Grim? Where did you send it to? I don't see any $50 anywhere, Grim. Grim, I did not get $50 from you. Look how scared he is. You're lying. You didn't give me $50, Grim. You were gonna... If you wanted to call in, you had to spend $50. Yeah, where's the $50 at, Grim? My people give you $50? I don't care about your people. I care about you, Grim. You can call it. You can literally just come back tomorrow. For tomorrow, like I said, I'm gonna do like for 11 hours. I'm gonna do like $100 for the extra hour. So another $100. Another $100. I'll do 11 hours, and then I'll keep going up by like a little bit at a time. And bro, this is crazy, dude. This is insane. Lori, okay, I got a Cash App for $10 saying heart heart for being so sexy and cute, Pookie Bear, bro. That's crazy.
New donation from Vandred. $20.
Vandred, $20. Vandred. Thank you, Vandred. You're late. Vandred. What the hell? Thank you. Avenger one part of the fun. Yeah, I like I like this kind of fun too. This is my kind of fun. Thank you. Sri, what happened was I said that Devin donated $69 twice the other night. So I was gonna do a 5-hour stream, right? And then I said after that I would go to 10 hours, but it's gonna be like $50 per hour. All right, $50 per hour. So what happened is a group of kind individuals donated $250 combined to get me to 10 hours. And now I'm saying that I'll do an extra hour on top of that for an extra I'll do an hour on top of that for an extra $100 for the hour, for the first extra hour. And I'll keep that going throughout tomorrow. look at Kel in chat. The definition of weak is not having $50 to get something you really, really want. The definition of weak is not having $50. Yeah, so it'll be like a subathon kind of thing tomorrow. We're at $30 on our way to the... I don't even want to say it. I didn't think... Okay, I'll be honest though. I did not go into this thinking people would be crazy enough to actually freaking do it. I'm not gonna lie. I did not think. 11 or weird number, round it to 12. Well, then there's no... I mean... It'd be... If I were to go to another 2 hours on top of 10, it would need to be another $200. Like... But I'm actually gonna set this up. I really appreciate the support. I really, like, on a genuine level. I really do. I'm actually gonna prepare for this though. I'm gonna prepare for it like it's a job. I'm gonna prepare with like snacks and food and stuff. And I'll make sure I'm actually rested up. I'll treat it like it's an actual job. I don't know what we'll do the entire time, so I might make a new section in Discord to maybe get some ideas for what the... Wait, what happened? Sri get 50... Sri gave $50, dude. Sri gave $50. Sri, thank you, Sri. Thank you, Sri. Sri gave $50 now, dude. This is what it feels like to be rich. Just like the guy below me. Just like the guy below me. Back on the island. Is that an Andrew Cuomo mask? Do you just have that mask laying around? I was Donald Trump for Halloween in 2017. Or 2016, when it was funny, when he was not president. Oh. All right, we're close to 11 hours. What is that? Another person don't... I was gone. Oh no. That's crazy. Thank you. We're technically at 70. So I have to set this on the goal then. Another $30 gets to hour 11. Yeah, another 30 gets to hour 11, and then after that, another hour is gonna have to be another 100. Grim Lore, just come back tomorrow. I'm done streaming for tonight. I'm just talking to my gang. I'm talking to my gang right now. All right, leave. Lori, you're hot now, boy. Oh, okay. I understand, Lori. I understand.
New
What is
donation
that?
from Devin. $30.
Okay, Devin, you're cut off. Devin, you're cut off. Devin, you're cut off. Devin. 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 You're cut off, dude. Thank you. That's 11 hours. Okay, dude. Let me write this down. I never did one of these before, like an actual subathon type of deal. I feel like I have to up the numbers now, dude. I feel like I got to do. Okay, we're pausing at 11 right now. I have to think about this. We're pausing at 11 hours. We are pausing at 11. Well, I don't know the start time now because the start time was going to be like 8 o'clock if it was 7 hours. But now I'm going to have to start like 5. I'll have to go 11 hours. I have to start like at 5 p.m. and go till 5 a.m. That's a... Why not 12? Nice even number. Well, if I'm going from 11 to 12, it's going to be more than $100 to get the jump. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you, Devin. Because that's extreme, I feel like. What should it be from 11 to 12 hours? I feel like tomorrow... I feel like when I'm streaming tomorrow... that goal will be obtainable with people watching, which kind of scares me because I don't want to say it's going to be 100 per hour because that could literally go till 24 hours. People are crazy enough to do that shit. People are crazy enough to do that shit. Well, actually, that'd be okay. Never mind. I lied. That might be an okay number because I just realized how much money. I just realized how much money that is. I'm like, okay, well, that's actually not too bad. I can't do 24 hours, though. Yeah, I could just say another 100 is going to be 12 hours, and then every donation... I could say another 100 gets to 12 hours. I think you're right, Sri. I think Sri was correct with what Sri just said. Sri mentioned how I'm at 11 now, but 12 is a good number, so it might be good to end at 12. I think we might do that, guys. So the max number for tomorrow, the max time is going to be 12 hours tomorrow. If I get $100 more through Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, that kind of stuff, it'll cap at 12, and then any donations I get during the stream will just be additions, and those will just be like tips and donos and super chats and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to have to cap at 12 hours for the whole stream. The 12 hours is what separates you from being a real American. Yeah, dude. On God. For real. Oh my God, dude. Oh, thank you, guys. If Cory Booker can, then you can do it. Grim Lore will be... Grim Lore is back tomorrow. I should probably make some TikToks to advertise my stream. A 12-hour debate stream. Plus, he makes money off of ads. Do you realize my ad money? I could look up my ad revenue right now. What I get per month on ads. 1 second. I'm not gonna show the screen necessarily, but let's see. Analytics, revenue. I get a decent number of views on these streams too, right? So, let's see. From short feeds. Okay, so for my YouTube shorts, they get decent views, right? In the past 28 days from YouTube Shorts, I've made $7. From watch page ads, which are normal ads on YouTube videos and streams, I've made $80 in a month. So like off of ads in total on YouTube, I'm making like $90 off ads on YouTube. Like this is fully ran by people donating. Me doing this stream for like 3 hours every night is ran by people donating. If people did not donate, I would not be able to sustain this. I would not be able to do it. Like the ad revenue is not that good for my kind of channel, at this size at least. All right, let me make sure I didn't get any more donations on my apps really quick, and then I'll head to bed. Thank you again, everyone that donated. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, this is freaking crazy. We'll do the extra $100 for an extra hour. I can post it on Discord as well. But yeah, I think that's everyone. If you donate after this, I'm sorry if I don't see it. I'll thank you again tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll start. Do you have a J? What kind of J? Like a jump shot? I put a video of my jump shot on my YouTube. What, 6 to 6? Or should I just do like later? 7 to 7? I'm gonna die. This is a big undergoing. Six to 6. You get off at 9 tomorrow? You think you call the shots now? I'm not doing 7 to 7. I have to do earlier in the day. Because I'm gonna get tired. Alright, if you donate again, I might not see you till tomorrow. Thank you guys for the support. 9 to 9, you're crazy. Alright guys, have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Again, thank you. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. If you underpromise, overproduce, it's better than the opposite. Boy, makes you sleepy. Alright guys, have a good night. Thank you again. If you donate again, I'm not going to see it till later. But yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. Alright, see you tomorrow.